Up and at 'em, fellow kids. It's Friday. You guys aware it's the last Friday of August? Next Friday will be September 1st. Did I just blow your mind with that?
That doesn't feel right, but I'm rolling with it.
No, it might not feel right, but it is the truth, and which is what we speak on this program. We're known as the Truth Teller program, and we are up and at 'em live from Charwood Golf Club. Bill Gunner, Preston Thorne, Jen Jensen will be joining us shortly. She's in studio right now, making sure everything is working and not catching fire and all the good stuff. She'll be out here later on this morning to hang out with us and talk as we get you ready. Here we are. This is it. What's other things I can just yell and scream that college football starts tomorrow? It's time. Good one. Good one. I think that's why you're here. Good job. It's time.
The moment you've been waiting for.
That's all we're gonna do for 3 hours is just scream cliches into the mic. Yeah, all right, let's rumble. I was able to say that because I didn't say something else, but yeah, here we go. It's college football season, and we're gonna get you going out here live from Charwood Golf Club. Rock and Daniel Lucas hosting us again for the preseason kickoff golf tournament. It's wordy, it's long. I'll mess it up and say multiple names today, but that's where we're at. We are here in the lobby, in the clubhouse of Charwood Golf Club this morning. It is dark, but the sun is going to rise. The heat is
going. I'll be honest, Bill. This is better than the last time we were here. Last time we were here, it was a little bit chilly outside.
Yeah.
It was still dark, but I know the sun's coming up very shortly. Last time it was dark and cold. I didn't know if there was actually a golf course out there last time that I was here. So, and it was a lot easier getting back here today. So, good. 100%, everything's going well.
Good. We are off to a roaring start here. They are in full go. Amanda is back there getting everything ready. Look at her. She is smiling and thrilled to be here at 6 a.m. Normally she'd be here at 5 a.m., but today we allowed her to sleep in an hour. Rock and Daniel hosting us again. So we hope to see you. Even if you're not playing, come and hang out this morning. Come and hang out here for a few hours. Tea time will be 9:30, and then you can scatter to your actual work job and go do what you need to do. But we're going to hang out here. We'll have putts with Preston from 8 to 9 o'clock. Come out, donate $5 to Camp Cole. And if you can beat Preston in putting, look over there. You see a left-handed putter here.
I was just going to ask, have we been able to procure a left-handed putter?
There's a bag. Looks, I see two of it. Oh, Amanda says yes. We will procure a left-handed putter. So we will get that going. But come on out. Charwood Golf Club's where we're at, and you can hang out with us. There's a lot of tables. All of them are empty right in front of us right now. But that's all right. We'll get it going, and we'll talk because tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern Time, I have no clue what that is over in Dublin, Preston. Maybe 7:30, maybe 8:30. I'm not sure. Maybe 6:30. I don't know. But we will find out what Notre Dame looks like. We'll start the college football season, and I'm excited. I'm ready. I know this is the appetizer. This is it. I tried. I made the effort last night.
To do what?
I sat outside. I lit a cigar. I fixed a bourbon, and I put on the Steelers and the Falcons, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't. I tried, Preston. I was like, you know what? It's the night before football. We got a golf tournament. I'll sit out here, and I still couldn't get it. I am over the preseason football. I'm ready for the real thing.
I'm going to correct you, Bill. You succeeded. You did well. You went through the pregame warm-up ritual. You got everything ready. And now you got, again, this first week is just for working on logistics. Get everything right. Get your ice, get your bourbon, get your coolers, your heaters, your crock pots, whatever you need. Work on those this week so you can be prepared for week 1. This is what week 0 is for. You're still fine.
It was not. It wasn't bad last night. It wasn't bad. And like I said, and then I saw some replays of the Colts and the Eagles last night as well. But no, I couldn't get into it. I'm ready for the real thing, and we'll get you up and going with that this morning. We'll talk a lot going on. Big football news in the state. A legend, and I think I'm even understating the word legend.
Yeah.
Preston Thorne, Buddy Pugh announcing yesterday his retirement from South Carolina State. Now he'll coach out the season. He that'd be awfully rude to 2 days before the first game to announce your retirement, step away. So he gets a farewell tour. This is something, I'll be honest, every season in about June or July when I kind of glance around the state, I'm like, wait, I thought Buddy Pugh retired 3 years ago.
Yeah, he definitely entered that phase of, oh, Buddy's still out there coaching, huh? And he's had a couple of revivals, almost like wrestling. You know, his hand was up and it was falling down, and he back up like Hulk
They
Hogan.
had him in the ref did the slow three, and he jumps up.
Exactly. So he's had a couple of revivals. The team is back on track. You know, last time I talked to Buddy, we'll talk about this later, but he fell into the trap that all aging coaches fall into, where they get one more guy.
Okay.
And they're like, President, I think I got one.
Okay.
And that always leads them to live like 2 more years because you get a quarterback or you get a running back or somebody, you're like, I think I got a guy.
I got a guy.
Yeah. Every coach I know that gets up there, they always fall into that trap. I got a guy.
Well, we will certainly get into that. Play a little audio. South Carolina State and Jackson State tomorrow night, 7:30 ABC. I'm excited to see the state represented. I'm excited to see Buddy Pugh on TV. I'm excited to see South Carolina State. That'll be. I'll flip back and forth between that and Hawaii and Vanderbilt. So that was interesting news yesterday that we will get a lot more into. Have you seen how Michigan has elected to coach the first 3 games?
I'm gonna be honest. I saw it. I saw graphics, different coaches.
Oh, this is great.
Jim Harbaugh on the graphics. It was a lot, and I just kind of went by it.
I don't know how to take this and absorb this because part of me is like, this is Michigan giving the middle fingers to East Carolina, UNLV, and Bowling Green. Just like, we don't even need a full-time coach for you. We're going to alternate head coaches.
Yeah.
One game plan in the first half, another game plan in the second half. We're going to have different guys yelling at the refs. This is the equivalent of Jim Harbaugh being like, I have such good coaches. I'm going to let y'all show the world by beating up on so-and-so. Mike Hart's going to coach a half. He might not have thought to run up the score. And I forget who's mixed with him, but the second coach in the second half, I mean, you know what? I'm a run it up kind of guy.
This is my town. My time.
It's interesting. We'll get into that a little bit. And I've got a montage this morning. Wednesday, we did depth chart montage. But I'm going to ask Preston, and we've got some stuff we're going to get to. He wants to get into Swamp Kings again. We got Chris Deering coming up. But when coaches respond to you in a press conference with these phrases, do they mean it? Are they being serious?
There's a good chance no. I don't even know what the phrases are.
I can't wait to hear that. No. Tyler has done some work this morning, and Tyler is going to. We've got some audio from press conferences this week, and I'm going to ask Preston in the next segment. Do coaches mean this?
I have no idea what it is, but my hunch is no. They don't mean it.
We'll get to that. I'll get to that because we're going to have a good time this morning. We're going to cut up. Again, if you want to come out and join us, if you're heading to work this morning, you want to stop by, you can't play in the tournament, come by and see us. If you can come by from 8 to 9 o'clock, putts with Preston out here on the putting green. It's going to be a lot of fun. Donate $5 to Camp Cole, and you can maybe go to your office with tickets to the South Carolina Jacksonville State game in November. If you can defeat Preston, and not only that, you can go with bragging rights. You can start your weekend off by bragging to your coworkers around the water cooler. Are there still water coolers at offices, by the way?
No, we all just text each other.
Okay,
we just text each other the same rumors, the same gossip. You just do that via text now, not on the water cooler.
You can go to your office and be in the group chat, group text chat.
There you go.
And tell everybody you beat Preston, buddy. So come on out, even if you're not playing. If you are playing, we definitely look forward to see you, Rock and Daniel. Fantastic host. Glad to be out. Glad to be back. This is our home away from home. This is like what was it? War Memorial for Arkansas. The kind of the home away from home.
I like it. I was excited to get back out here.
So we are ready to go this morning again. 803-404-6100. That's how you can join us if you want to do so on the Firehouse Subs text line, or you can hit us up on the Love Chevy Love Chevy phone line. Nick and Gilbert saying, Bill, I agree with you. I'm a big Falcons fan. Just couldn't watch last night.
As long as they wrap Bijan up in bubble tape to get him in week 1, I think that's all Falcon fans need to think about.
And I do have a problem here. This is a serious problem. Have you seen this? Jonathan weighs in and he says, y'all have got to watch the BS High documentary on HBO. I don't have HBO. He says it's about Bishop Sycamore. I have the debacle that was. I don't have HBO.
But we're gonna have to make a commitment.
We're going to have to find a what because he's Jonathan.
I've heard things.
I am with you. This has been, if you haven't seen a Bishop Sycamore of all things, lo and behold, South Carolina has a connection there. Mikos Todd, a running back commitment out of, I think it was Villa Rica, Georgia, was committed to Muschamp in South Carolina and ended up being their running back as essentially a junior college player. It was the wildest thing. Like I remember watching the game and they're like, Mikos Todd, 6-yard run. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, so that's when he was like, huh?
Yeah, even I was like, I don't know if that's legal. So, yeah,
we're gonna make a commitment to figure out how to watch that. Because we need to discuss that. I've heard things.
I've also heard things. 803-404-6100. Do coaches really mean what they say? We'll discuss on the other side. It's the early game, live from Charwood Golf Club. All right. It's going to be a scorcher. It's going to be fun. Today's going to be fun, but it's going to be a scorcher. And I tell you what, if you head home after this round of golf, you know what you're going to want? You are going to want your air conditioner. If it's not working properly, it's time to call the folks at AAA Heating and Air. Roy and Dana Finley, absolutely fantastic. Out to my house back in February, and that air conditioner has worked fantastic. Trust me, that Gunner household feels great. I am excited about tomorrow and Saturday when it's going to be blazing hot. So call AAA Heating and Air today, 803-677-1500. That's how you can get in touch with them. Right now, check out the Inflation Reduction Act. You can save up to $3,800 in tax credits. Just call the Comfort Advisors at AAA Heating and Air to learn more. 803-677-1500. AAA Heating and Air will offer you a $1,500 rebate to buy back your old unit. On top of that, there's a 15-year parts and labor warranty to go along with guaranteed financing. Call AAA Heating and Air today, 803-677-1500. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you. I gotta remember here. Normally, what I've started doing is looking at the clock right in front of me, the timer on that computer that to make it a minute. And here, like I started talking, and literally in my mind, I'm going 1, 2, 3. Do you know how hard it is to count and talk at the same time? It's nice. Yeah, at the office, I'll be okay. Here, yes, if you'll please give me a 30 and a 10. A 10, I can hit my liner for whatever. Do we have another one in the next set just in case we can prepare? Yeah. Okay. All right. So just you this hour. Okay, good. Boy, Terry must be really stressed out to be awake at 6:14. Tell Terry he got kicked off his team. They're bringing in a one-armed man to play on his golf team today. Well, they say he's got 27% vision. I think that's legally blind, but yeah. Jen, when we come back, do we have the audio? I want to play Tyler's mashup. I haven't heard it, but I think this is going to be good. No, it'll be number 7. Yeah. Oh, I see. You just sent.
You up, baby? Okay. Grandma got you up? Okay. Well, we'll see you at school, alright? Alright, I love you. Make sure you get right there. And, get the rest of the stuff. Alright, I love you. And turn off the lights off. Alright, have a good day.
Well, since Jen doesn't have us on the, we got to remember this mic's going to be live.
A hot mic. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Hot mic. Okay.
All right. Yeah, I noticed this. Tyler says there's music underneath it, but I asked him to make a montage because I was watching the press conferences the other day, and this happened in all three press conferences. And I was like, I don't think they really mean it. So I want to see what he's created. I hope it's as good as I think it is.
Okay.
I apologize, y'all are gonna be Jen. Hopefully we'll get Jen and Terry to get the studio stream up. Yeah, hey Anthony, we have to be on location to get Preston on. All right. So I know you've gotten up early in your lifetime, but you now see the difference in what I was talking about what late June, about how it was sunlight out. Remember we had that conversation, and now we're back to it being like how it peaks, like where
it's going back. It's already starting to go back.
I'm sorry, say that again. 7, good. All right, I'll call for it because I see it's got music.
Yeah, it's already starting to go back.
Off and running. One segment down, another one to do. Live from Charwood Golf Club. Bill Gunner, Preston Thorne, Jen Jensen in studio for just a little while. She'll be out here. So if you've ever thought, I wonder what it looks like to see Jen physically beat up Bill. If you've ever wondered, well, come on out about 8:00, 7:45, 8:00. You'll get to see all the head slapping, head knocking good times that we have in studio because we'll be doing it live from here. So Jen will be joining us out here in just a little while. Chris Deering coming up this morning about 7:15. It's I guess officially, because I wasn't here last Friday, but I guess this is officially the start of the high school season. Much like what we're going to do with college football, this is officially the start of the high school season. Now everybody's in action.
Yeah, except a lot more schools playing high school on week 0.
Yeah.
So
right,
high school's kind of, I don't know.
And they've moved some games around a little bit because of the heat and what we're going to experience today. But we'll talk with Chris Deering later on this morning about that. But 803-404-6100 is how you can join us. Again, Love Chevy phone lines or the Firehouse Subs text line. So the other day, I know people are going to be like, no, you're lying. But no, this is true. The other day, I was doing show prep. I was listening to Dow Loggins. I was listening to Clayton White. I was listening to Pete Limbo. I was listening to other interviews, and something occurred to me because if I was to say, Preston, how you doing today? I would pause then to get your response, right?
I think I like where this is going.
But I've noticed coaches will be like, "How you doing?" But then it rolls right into the answer to the question. There's no pause to see how anybody do they mean it. Jen, let's play. I have not heard this, so I don't know if this is going to live up to what I want it to be. But Tyler, who does a great job for us, Tyler Head, who does an incredible job for us, has created. He and I talked last night. He's created a montage of coaches. I think coaches asking insincere questions. Roll that beautiful tape.
And I brought her pan today, you said you're gonna do them, you're putting my laces stuff together? Yeah, I was gonna wait a minute until they get watered down. And we put that.
None of that. They don't. They like you heard it. Like Clayton White. There it is. Like, good afternoon. How y'all doing? And then goes right into it. Like Preston, you did the press conference. I never. I do radio. I don't. Nobody's sitting in front of me for asking how they doing. But you did like. Is that just part of our vernacular? Like, hey, good afternoon. How you doing?
Yeah,
All right, I'm here.
I guess maybe just manners. Obviously we all know what we're here for, but at least let me extend some courtesies to you. How you doing? Good, good. All right, let's move it on. But really, Bill, this is not just a coaching thing. This is just a life thing, right? When you ask somebody how you do you really want to answer? You know what I'm saying? It's like, how you doing? Please don't answer that because I'm continuously moving forward. I really don't want to know how you do. So maybe it's just a continuation of what we do in real life.
I've noticed. Watch every press conference because yeah, they're. The other thing I wanted him to do, we just didn't have enough time, and that I'm noticing is happening more and more and more. Dow Loggins did the other day is we're getting the oh good question. Do they really mean like is this just a way to pause and add time like these press conferences because yeah, like do you think Nick Saban will go to the podium and be like hope everybody's doing good today. Do you think he really cares if everybody's doing good today?
Good question only means I got to go through my directory of coach stock answers to find the answer to that one. Hadn't really thought of that one in really second. So good question. Then I figure out what that is. Does Nick Saban care? I mean,
Does he care about the lowly Tuscaloosa Times reporter that that, that looks stressed, has 3 kids, is trying to make ends meet, and when he goes, "How you doing today?" Like, and the guy's like, "Well, the baby's sick. The 4-year-old
we
ate
still haven't
crayons
turned that
last
down. Thank
night."
you very much. We're moving on forward the process.
I don't go to press conferences anymore, but if I do, if I go back to one, if somebody asks me how I'm doing, I'm gonna stop their question and be like, "Well, actually."
Yeah, you definitely. But Bill, this is all I'm saying. If somebody hits you with a well, actually in real life, you're like, I asked the wrong question. Sorry. I could need to continue moving forward.
We've learned, right? We've learned that the I've learned that I'm like, hey, I I would complain, but you don't want to hear it. So what do you got? That's kind of my go-to answer with it.
That's a solid one. That's a solid one. Yeah, that's a tough situation because I think we're just in the routine of saying that, and then now obviously people are starting to really check on you, and then they ask like, no, how you doing? And I'm like, I don't want to answer that question. I don't want to answer. Let's just go back to good, and moving forward. I don't want to talk about my life that's crumbling around me. No, how you doing? Good. All right, cool.
So the coaches' answers are what we all should be doing. Just a how you doing, but you don't give them time to answer. You just move straight into whatever. Clayton White was the best at it the other day. Like,
well, like I said, I was gonna. We may still have some opportunities through the season, but I was definitely thinking of depth chart and the coordinator interviews. Clayton has just such a beautiful smile that he could say whatever, and you're like, all right, Clayton. He's just going round and round, talking cliche after cliche. It's like,
he's
yeah, it's
very
great.
disarming. Like
Yes.
Clayton White, I agree. Like just he smiles and he looks at you, and it's just you're like, all right, whatever you say, yeah. Sure, we're gonna run a 2-5-4. I understand.
Yeah, Kingsbury, he's ready. I don't know if any other factor of his career, but as far as press conference, he's ready to be a head
Just
coach.
real quick to go back, the year after you graduate, John Thompson and Tyrone Mix come in. I think John Thompson. I think I can't remember which one was the defensive line coach.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't remember.
Now I'm thinking that it might have been. I'm thinking Thompson.
I think Thompson might have been.
But
I've heard stories about this crew also.
As a defensive lineman, 1 year removed from when they were like, "Hey, we're going to have our defensive linemen stand up, not get down. We're going to have them stand up." And then, of course, Alabama came in that day and was like, "Well, we're just going to run forward and run over you." What was Preston Thorne's idea of, oh, the defensive line is just going to stand up and move around?
Mark it down. I don't know why that trend is so hard to die, but some defensive coordinator somewhere in the United States will run the defensive lineman standing up defense. It's so bad. It's the worst thing you can do, but it sounds cool because it's like, oh, we get to jump around.
We're going to move them around where the offensive line doesn't know where they're coming from.
They're not going to know where we're coming from. And they don't care. They're just going to run straight through you because you're standing with your chest up. It's the worst, but it sounds cool. It sounds cool. And somewhere, mark it down, but some defensive coordinator will employ we're going to try and trick them this time. Oh, so bad.
803-404-6100, how you can weigh in this morning.
Cool.
Our loyal Brooklyn Casey enthusiast and South Carolina State historian, Carlton Green, has made his way. We'll catch up with him for a second. The Bulldogs are playing tomorrow night against Jackson State. So we'll talk with Carlton, who's a loyal listener, is on the live stream each and every day. We'll catch up with him in a minute. We got plenty to get to this morning. It is big news. Buddy Pugh retiring. I mean, a high school football legend at Fairfield Central. I know when I was in high school, I remember that's how I got to know Fairfield. I was at Lexington, play football. Didn't play football at all, but I was terrified of Fairfield Central because of the dominance of that program. We'll talk about Buddy Pugh this morning because he's a guy who should be recognized and honored and is going to hopefully go out on a great season. He'll start tomorrow night. We'll talk a little bit about that. You're listening to the early game.
What's up, man?
Not much.
How you doing today?
Carlton, have you met Preston?
Huh?
Have you met Preston? Y'all met?
Yeah,
Okay.
we
All right.
met last year.
Yep.
Okay. Let me get the mic set up.
Now it's got to figure out who we're gonna get.
You know, obviously the whirlwind's already starting to spin.
Oh. Oh my God. I heard this might be a surprise. I don't know if this is gonna be a surprise or not. Watch Benedict's coach.
Interesting. I know they're doing well. I know they played well last year for sure. They won I don't know the conference there, but I know they won.
Yeah, they
That'd be
won the
interesting.
cup. They Division 3.
What was his name? Everybody's talked about. I've heard. Now I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name. I gotta look it up.
They won last year.
Yeah. He's one person. You know who I wouldn't mind? Demetrius.
That's the. I don't want to bother him, but that seems like somebody who would. That's right. Somebody that's young, somebody that can get the program going in the right direction, keep the program going in the right direction. That's what they say. Play the chair up there. I wouldn't be surprised.
We're on that live stream is live. Because right now Jen doesn't have me.
Demetrius last name.
Davis.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I don't want to laugh at it. I know they get. I'm not gonna. I know his phone's probably blown up. I
wouldn't mind seeing Demetrius.
Kind of
Those
the
are
same.
two I think are going to pop up.
Kind of the same trajectory as Buddy. He was an assistant, high school coach. The only thing is
Offensive coordinator with Buddy.
O-line guy.
Well, he coached quarterbacks and receivers. He did. He was a top television analyst. So
Yeah, it might be
Who you
tough.
going with it? Who you going with it?
Rock,
Saki.
Saki just texted me, and boy, we had about 5 cancellations last night. We've had some. Apparently, nobody else wants to play with us. Like I can.
I'll just play with you then. I'll give you your foursome.
He said that he said he's gonna put it out. I think to some veterans or something. And see who. Yeah, I mean, literally, this was by 10 o'clock last night. We were like, oh.
So no
Boy,
Larry.
it had so much going on. Oh man.
Y'all need somebody to play. You know, you got your.
Golf Club. It is our preseason kickoff golf tournament. As we get going, the sun is rising. They are prepping the course. They are prepping the putting green out there. I look out there. They're making it about a 6 on the stent meter.
Okay.
That's slow.
Yeah. Well, that's going to really affect putting with Preston.
That is. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because, you know, I really don't like playing on those slow greens, Bill.
Well, they you'll have to. Good news. Where did Amanda go? Amanda, we'll track Amanda down. We got to get you that left-handed putter and a few Strixon golf balls and send you out there to the putting green. If you can putt in the dark, you can putt in the light.
About the same.
It's gonna be fun. So yeah, we are up and running. Hope you're doing good this morning. A Friday morning, as I said, it's kind of crazy. Next week will be September 1st, and we will actually be down in Darlington. So we will be watching the sunrise over Darlington Raceway, getting ready for the race down there, getting ready for the first true weekend of college football. I will admit to y'all, last night this dawned on me. This dawned on me last night. Next Thursday night is Florida Utah. That's a really good game. It's a massive game. It's a really good game. It's like 8 o'clock, and it has occurred to me that I will once again have to meet Jen at about 4 a.m. Is that right? Is that right, Jen? Was it 4 a.m.? We're having a staff meeting on air. This is not how you're supposed to do radio. But was it? That's what I was thinking too. So now it's occurred to me it's 3:30 a.m. I might be sleeping at the station to watch that football game, but
Yes.
yeah, I was gonna say, what do you mean? Why are you? Yeah, yes, we're gonna sleep in the back of the car. What do you think? Thank you. I mean, you ought to do something. You're not producing next Friday. They just brought a putter to. I, I, they just brought a putter that that'll be used until Jen gets here. 803-404-6100 is how you can weigh in. Carlton Green, a loyal listener, has been at several of our remotes. Is joining us. He's a Carlton. What was your role? What you've had a role? I forget. You've told me. What was your role with South Carolina State?
I was one of the student trainers back in the day.
Back in the day, okay.
Yeah, back in the day, I started it with Coach Jeffries.
Okay.
78. Then he left. Then I went into the military. I served in the United States Navy for 4 years. Then I went. They held my scholarship, believe it or not. So I was like, wow. And returned in 1986 under Dennis Thomas, and then graduated in 1989 with Coach Jeffries again when he first came back.
So Jeffries came back in '89. So you look at this, and it's a run of right now about 34 years. It really is an amazing run when you talk about what South Carolina State has done with the legendary Willie Jeffries, and now with Buddy Pugh and Preston. You talked about it. We kind of just talked about it. Coach Pugh announcing yesterday his retirement. We've got some audio. We'll play that here in a few minutes. But I never played football, but even the legend of Buddy Pugh upon me in the late 90s as I was at Lexington High School, I knew who he was.
Yeah.
And I was smart enough to know that when Lou Holtz came and hired Buddy Pugh as his running backs coach, that was a brilliant hire, bringing in a guy who, in a lot of ways, was becoming there's a lot of names you could use, but I will use the football version of George Glenn, was becoming South Carolina high school football. He went on to good things. What are your memories of Buddy Pugh?
I have so many memories of Coach Pugh. The most enduring memory is that Coach Pugh is the only person who can say a lot of words to you that probably we can't say in the morning time and make you feel good about it. You know, he could call you different things. And I've been on calls with Coach Pugh in my adult life where he has greeted me with pleasantries and left me with pleasantries, and I felt good about it. I was like, all right, coach still cares about me. You know, just the ultimate professional. Everything we say. This is not a eulogy, obviously, but just talking about the impact that he's had on South Carolina football is tremendous. I was reading an article, and it's not the fault, but I think it was On 3 coverage. There was some coverage, and it was just basically maybe not even a sentence that said, you know, he went on to do great things in high school football in South Carolina. And it was like, no, that's a whole paragraph based on what he did at Fairfield Central. I remember reading about them in the old sports reports, and you just see like the Griffins. And being from somewhere, I was like, who is Fairfield Central? I didn't know where Fairfield Central was. I knew about who they were,
Right.
though. And that reputation would always precede them. And then obviously what he's done at South Carolina State, from winning, going to the playoffs, producing NFL guys. I mean, there's several guys from that program who are currently playing in the NFL. It's just a tremendous career all around. And then just, you know, his work in the communities has been tremendous. So to say legend, that word may get thrown around a little bit more than it deserves, but he absolutely deserves it.
Carlton, I mean, again, yeah, your time there, Willie Jeffries to Buddy Pugh. Honestly, there's not many schools that can brag about that kind of coaching lineage over the last 30 to 35 years.
Yeah, definitely. I knew Coach Pugh back in the day when Coach Jeffries had him as a grad assistant, and Coach Davis, Bill Davis. And then he went to Fairfield Central, and then he went to Keenan, then he went to Fairfield Central, and rest is history. So it was great.
And there's so many folks that come off that coaching tree that are still.
I even sort of like come off his coaching tree because I worked with him. He's taught me a lot, and that's why I'm doing the things I'm doing now. So I'm grateful to both coaches, really. I come off of both coaching trees parallel.
You bring that up. It's an interesting take when you think about that, because John McKissick obviously was a legendary high school coach in this state and really nationally. But John McKissick touched so many high school players' lives. Buddy Pugh has affected the lives of high school players and of college players. I mean, his presence kind of, as you said, that made me think just how much of an impact he's had at all levels, not just one level.
Yeah, I mean, if I just take my own personal story, not to make it about me, but Coach Q's been in my life for 24 years. He was part of the team. Him and Charlie Strong were recruiting me down in Somerville, so I got that experience, that time with him. He's been counsel as I've moved throughout my adult career, asking him questions about coaching. After I got out of coaching, asking him questions about business, life, community events, health, all kinds of questions. So, Buddy P, and he always answers my phone call. That's one thing. He always answers your phone call with like I said, a pleasantry, which I will put that in quotation marks. But there's no greater feeling than, man, the feeling that I had when that team when they beat Jackson State in the Celebration Bowl 2 years ago, and to see him sort of kind of break down this mountain of a man, sort of see the emotion get to me. It was one of the most emotional things I've seen on TV. So, man, always proud of Coach Pugh. And like I said, Coach Pugh broke the cycle because every good coach gets in this situation where they get one more guy. And I think he thinks he has a couple. He's like, Coach, Preston, I think I got a team this year. And he's probably been saying that for the past 10 years.
They will get going 7:30 tomorrow night. Jackson State, you can catch that right there on ABC. Carlton, real quick before we let you go, you got your BC stuff on. Who's Brooklyn Casey got tonight?
We got Airport High School.
Oh, rivalry game, yeah. Is that still a good rivalry?
Yes, it is. We played their JV last night, and our kids played well. It was, even though they won, they played their hearts out.
Well, we got Chris Deering coming up in about 30 minutes here. We'll catch up with him. He has sent me a list of games to talk about. I'll have to see that. So I ask if that's a rivalry because, shoot, with all these schools coming up now, rivalries get changed. Lexington went from Irmo to White Knoll. Now it's River Luck. We don't even play Irmo anymore.
That BC Airport is still a thing.
All right. Well, we'll get with Chris Deering on that. Carlton, thank you for coming out. You've been a long-time supporter of the program.
I just want to add one other thing. Matter of fact, that Coach Pugh and I grew up in the same neighborhood, up in Orangeburg. So this is going to be heartfelt for me because I've known him for almost all my life. I remember him when I was a little boy, 8 years old. I used to carry his helmet.
Y'all are different sizes. I can see that happen.
I was one of those little kids that my dad would take me to football practice, and once I got there, I got to know Coach Pugh, and then he started giving me his helmet, and I used to carry it before practice.
803-404-6100. We'll wrap up the hour when we return. It's the early game.
And we jumped on them last night. It was 8-0. And all of a sudden, the wheels.
TVs, motorcycles, scooters, and side-by-sides. Exit 70 off I-20.
You're like, we got young kids.
How's Brooklyn Casey looking at football this year?
Hey,
Good?
we're going to be good. We're going to be good. I expect us to win the conference this year.
I'm just going to always, the only problem is y'all just going to keep running into Dillon. That's the only issue.
And the thing about it, and Camden.
Who did Camden smash somebody last week?
And
Camden had somebody that was I thought was good. They popped him.
And if we can get them at home, it's a different story. But when you go to Camden and play, it's the team.
That's one of the better stadiums still in the state.
Yeah, it's I won't say that, but
because y'all stadium is so brand new. It's still got the wrap.
12 years old.
Yeah, but it don't.
Really? I thought it was older than that.
It's 12.
It's more. It still doesn't have enough.
But here's the deal.
You see what BC Florida? I'm looking at Chris's text. He said games to watch. They played Drew last night. You know what the score was?
It wasn't good.
60-13. Is that where Perry's at? Or is Perry with Corey?
Corey.
That's Corey Jenkins.
Jenkins' team. Drew.
But Florida's really good.
Who's coaching there?
Ken Floyd. He was out at Fairfield. He was out at Dreher. Basic Floyd. He's a really good coach. He's good.
I need to get Rick Henry on the team. Because, I mean, I was growing up. I know Rick. My grandfather did work with him too. But I mean, I was literally like tonight at 41. Like that's still one thing. Like I will try my hardest to get to 11:20 to watch that high school scoreboard. So
So do I.
It like makes you want to just tuck in.
yeah, like literally, it's like all right, that's Friday night. Once it goes off, you're like, all right, good. Like,
Well, see, what I do is like, I listen to, when we through, I turn on time, and then up until Rick comes on, and when I end up with Tony at the end, because they don't get off till midnight.
he got a Patrick.
And man,
talking about was great high school venues in the state, just great high schools. Preston's brought up the old reservation as being probably one of the most intimidating places you've been to.
Yeah, by far, by far. The old reservation. You walk out to the stadium, and there's a bunch of people who presumably had just gotten off of work from some plant or shift, night shift or whatever the case was.
And they had tailgate. They gotten off and started tailgating at 10 a.m. in the
Yeah.
parking lot of
Yeah.
students are walking around the tailgates trying to get to classes.
A lot of beverages, a lot of conversations being had loudly. Again, going back to the fans at Gaffney would greet you with pleasantries also, to let you know that they were excited for you to be coming to their town to visit. And it was really interesting, especially playing Gaffney, because Somerville has a great atmosphere, but Somerville is more of a wine and cheese type of crowd. They clap politely and they, cheer
They're-
very nicely.
Yeah.
Very, very
Charleston.
classic Charleston. And Gaffney would come to town and be like, who are these people? And so it was always a fun time with them. But a lot of great venues around the state. I was just talking about Camden being one of the coolest stadiums that are left because it has that feeling, that aura around it. The concrete, sitting in the stands. And there's a lot of great places around the state. I've said it before. If you have a chance, I know everybody's really tired by Fridays, but if you want to take your kids out somewhere to see young people working hard, and contrary to what we hear about young people all these days, there's a lot of folks that are working hard and putting their all into these things on Friday night. So I'm a huge advocate for it.
Should be a lot of fun. Again, we'll catch up with Chris Deering coming up in about 15 minutes and talk about the games tonight. He has sent me a list. Looks like some really good games tonight. This is it. I mean, really now we are into football. The high school season fully underway tonight. The college season gets going a little bit tomorrow with some games. We'll talk about that a little bit. I guess there is going to be a change to ESPN's College Game Day. Big and Rich, no longer the theme for College Game Day, Preston.
That's going to be different. That's going to be interesting. I mean, so we're no longer coming to your city?
Apparently, we're no longer coming to your city.
I've been hearing that there was going to be this Post Malone is going to be the new music. I thought I heard that somewhere. And so I don't know what's happening with
We will try and get to the bottom of that.
Mhm.
We will try and get to the bottom of the high school season. I was looking at real quick. Deering has sent us these games and a couple of really good ones. Spartanburg traveling down to Dutch Fork tonight. Ridgeview at Sumter. Crestwood at Gray Collegiate. Brooklyn Casey at Airport tonight. Big rivalry game. Andrew Jackson and Fairfield Central tonight. In a skis game, Heathwood Hall at Ben Lippin. We'll get to a bunch of those games coming up in the next hour. We'll also talk a little bit more. Have you finished Swamp Kings yet? But
I decided I'm not going to finish
we think a lot alike.
it. Yeah, I decided I'm good. I've seen enough. I'm not a completist. I don't need to finish something once I start it. If I don't feel like it's not worth it, then I'm good on it. I do have some more thoughts on it, but I'm good.
Yeah, because you think football today funner than it used to be.
A lot.
Really?
Just from what I see in social media, I see a lot of videos going around, and I just like, wow, they can do that. I didn't know we could do those things on the football field. It's fascinating. And looking back at the old school times of the Swamp Kings made me think about that.
We'll get into that a little bit coming up this morning. I do want to get into this Jim Harbaugh story. I don't know how to take it. It's not so much about the suspension anymore. It's how Michigan has decided to handle coaching duties for this. And I'll ask in a game. There's 11 coaches, right? Are we at 12, 11, 12? All right. So in a game, yeah. Well, it not count. Yeah, but how many coaches have a legit say in the game? I'm going to ask you, having been on the sidelines and seen things happen for us that have never been on a football sideline, because I'm not going to say how important is the head coach because that seems a little unfair. I know that the head coach makes the final call, but I am interested in how Michigan is electing to handle this with basically allowing different coaches to handle it. Carlton, we appreciate you stopping by, man. Always appreciate having you on air with us. Good luck to Brooklyn Casey tonight.
Thank you.
Good luck to the airport kids who are heading to school. We're not far where we're at. We're not far from there. So, but good luck tonight. And again, glad that you've stopped by this morning. We'll catch up with Chris Deering in the next hour. And In the next segment, we'll get to the bottom of this. What do you think? Post Malone is the new intro music
I think
for.
I heard this.
All right, we'll look at it. You're listening to the early game live from Charwood Golf Club. Keep that loud so I can hear it. Big clean here.
Who?
Big and rich.
You heard Bray Wyatt passed away last night.
I did see that, yeah.
I'm walking. I didn't know Jackson State had many YouTube channels.
They got a bunch here.
Oh my God. Oh. And every one of them said the same thing.
this morning as she's gotten us set up. The sun has come up. Just saw Rock Lucas come wandering through here. We are out here. I see the coffee pot is stirring as well. We are again live from Charwood Golf Club. It is the 2023 preseason kickoff golf tournament put on by 107.5 The Game in Charwood. We're thrilled to be back here. I think I don't have a sheet in front of me. I believe this is our 4th year doing this. It's been a blast every time we've come out here. Charwood always treats us absolutely fantastic, treats our golfers absolutely fantastic. We'll have sandwiches by Firehouse Subs today. It is always a great experience when we come out here. As we were saying, it's kind of our home away from home, much like War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock is Arkansas's home away from home when they leave Fayetteville. This is our home away from home. We love being out here, and it's always a blast. And it's going to be warm today, so if you're coming out, make sure you hydrate yourself properly. But we're going to have a great time and enjoy some great golf, some great camaraderie, and talk some college football. And I got to admit, it was getting a little stale. Coming to your city was getting a little stale.
Come on, Bill. We need better effort than that.
Coming to your city.
To your city.
This is big and rich. I said they put on Twitter that they're passing the torch. This is audio last night. We will have a new opening for College Game Day.
Maybe.
I'm
reading through the line. I'm looking and I'm seeing. Apparently, our hero Posty has the college football anthem. I don't know whether that is the same as the opening for game day.
Sure. We don't know, but what we know is big and rich. Remember, this is important to know. This is big news because who was opening College Game Day this year? The University of South Carolina. Next Saturday, when we really get going, College Game Day will be in Charlotte. If you've forgotten, for South Carolina, North Carolina. This is big and rich last night on, I believe, Twitter and X.
Ooh, that's a good tease.
Is that a good one?
I think. Only thing is that coming to your city is like Pavlov's dogs. You know, when I hear that song, it's like I'm ready. I've entered into college football mode.
But the thing was when it first started, and I'm thinking back 16 years ago, 2006, I guess, is what they're going for. 16 seasons of doing it. This would have been the 17th. It wasn't the same version, and it was actually done a little bit differently to start off College Game Day. Because, look, I've said it many times. I love the television show that is College Game Day, and it is coming to an end. Whatever they do will be different. And I was reading an article. I think it might have been on Barrett Sports Media the other day about Kirk Herbstreit might be kind of tied, because remember, it was Herbstreit, it was Fowler, it was Corso, and now it's expanded to have Desmond, and Pat McAfee's going to have some role on it. Obviously, no David Pollock this year. I don't watch College Game Day for the great analysis. I watch it because I'm fixing breakfast or I'm doing something around the house. I used to get in the car. I don't have the ESPN channel anymore, but I used to get in the car and I'd be going to like the dump in the morning, running off the family trash and going by somewhere and getting a sausage biscuit or something, and I would have it in the car. It was just a staple of a Saturday morning, and it wasn't that I was going like, I wonder how they're going to break down the big game today. I don't really care. Like, I'd listen to Herbstreit, but trust me, I've never watched for Corso's analysis of a big game. I watch because it's entertaining. It's what starts the day. Have you been a big fan of this? I mean, have you?
It's been the soundtrack to my Saturday mornings for however long I can remember. As I thought, this is when my brother and I, this is when we called during game day. You watching game day? What you thought? What's going on? Did you see that flag? Man, they got some crazy signs out there today. This is just part of the fabric of college football Saturday. Again, it's not about the analysis. It's not about are we going to figure out who's going to get the upper edge and what we're watching? That's not really what the show's about. It's an entertainment product, and they've done a tremendous job. Obviously, things are changing. The landscape of college football is changing. The landscape of ESPN changing at the same time. But it is still something that when you turn it on Saturday, it is awesome thing to be watching, checking in on, background, whatever's happening in your house on Saturday. So, yeah, it's a part of my view.
Yeah, it's something that obviously is. Look, again, I'm not telling anybody like, hey, tune in to College Game Day for incredible. The one they lost, and all of a sudden his name escapes me. The guy they lost that did the sob stories, that did the human interest pieces.
Tom Rinaldi.
Tom Rinaldi. Thank you. I'm sorry. That was always you'd catch that.
Well, that's the thing. The Tom Rinaldi story is gonna start. You're gonna cry.
Yes.
And then you're gonna wipe your tears and you get back.
Well, it's so emotional because you're like, all right, it's game day. Like, we got a game today. And you get fired up and you hear the music and they're fighting. You see the crowd in the back. And you're like, yeah, all right, what are we going to grill today? What are we going to do? How are we going to do this? All right. All right. And then Tom Rinaldi comes on. Let me tell you the story about a player from Florida's little sister.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
And you're just like, all right, let's break the emotion for a minute. And then you got to come back, and then they come back, the crowd's cheer and everything. Okay, I'm back into it. By noon, you're like, man, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, you go through the whole range.
But this show is that show for a lot of us. I think a lot of people, specifically in the age range that Preston and I are in, the 40, probably the 35 to 45 age range, when that thing really took off in the 90s. I think that show has a lot of sentimental value for us, but where I'm going with that, when Corso leaves, you can't replace him.
No, just leave that seat in.
Yeah,
just leave that seat until we don't need it. We don't need somebody else putting on the hat. It's done with that, and it's fine. Everything has to run its course and run its time. But no, we don't need to try and find.
And then I wouldn't surprise me if Herb Street follows with him.
Well, because Herb Street is so good on games. I really enjoy them games. And then he's doing the NFL now, and he's tremendous. I really enjoy listening to him, especially in the NFL. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the direction he wants to go.
803-404-6100. Real quick, let's get out to the Love Chevy phone lines. Chris Deering due up here in about 7 minutes. Joe wants to weigh in on Coach Buddy Pugh. Joe, how you doing this morning?
Appreciate it, Joe. And it's a little bit sad because there's a certain ball coach that's not around anymore. I think about Buddy Pughes, Ray Stackley, some of these older guys, and the old ball coaches that they command the room. You don't know whether 50% of what they're saying may be true. The other 50%, I don't know what's happening. And you just even when I see Coach Pugh today, and just to listen, kind of sit at him. it's like your grandpa. You know, you want to hear the stories, you want to sit at his feet and just listen to what he has to say. And you, like I said, you don't know how much of this is true. Is this the exaggeration? Is this the real part? But I just love listening to old ball coaches sit around and talk. And unfortunately, I've had a chance to, talk to those guys. I think about Buddy Pugh, Ray Stackley, to mention, obviously Coach McKissick. Those men were tremendously impacted the state, and I just love sitting there and listening to those guys.
We'll talk about some great high school guys, some great college guys. I know Chris Deering can weigh in on Buddy Pugh. We'll talk with Chris Deering coming up next. It's the high school highlights of the week right here on the early game.
I switched from knowing him and then getting into the media. He started calling me by my real name.
Oh, really?
And I was like, really? You've been calling me by my nickname for years. Now you calling me by my real name?
Hold on.
It's time, y'all. We've been trying to tell y'all. I've been warning y'all through the spring. I warned you through the summer. Finally, football season is here, and you need to get yourself right. You need to call the folks at Integrated Media to get your outdoors ready. Football season is here. It's at the final warning. Get your outdoors ready. Samsung Terrace TVs. We'll get them waterproof. Sonos outdoor speakers, TV and music. Wi-Fi that works indoors and outdoors. Or maybe you just want to control all your devices from just one remote. That's my favorite. Home theater setup to adjusting your thermostat or monitoring the security system from your cell phone. Integrated Media is the company that you need to call. So call Nathan and Michael at 803-948-8327 or check them out online at integratedmediainc.com. That's online at integratedmediainc.com.
No hassles, no all-day run, no ridiculous add-ons. At Love Chevy, buying a car is fun. South Carolina's #1 volume Chevy dealer, I-26 at Harvest, and at lovechevy.com. Find new roads.
Enthusiasts, rejoice. Savage Craft Dealers offers a selection of luxury taps right now. ACIPs, Pilsners, sours, and seltzers. Are you a bourbon lover? Fans of your makes with over 100 bourbon stores and cocktails. Savage Craft, happy. Looking for some live music to lighten up your evenings? Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, enjoy the beer garden stage. Always fun. Savage Craft Dealers at 50 Center Street. Must be 21 years or older. Smell alcoholic beverages. Please drink responsibly.
All living harmony. Eventually, will find their way inside. Canyon Foundation Specialty, your local trusted expert. Cross Bay City. Call us today for a free estimate.
Favorite part of the day. Favorite part of the day.
But we'll move it right out there.
And we understand that there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that you don't see on the field. There's practice, there's diligence, there's loyalty. All of those things we put into practice every day.
Remember, if you've been hurt on the job, who you hire matters. Call us at 803-251-6406 or find out more at hollyatkinslaw.com.
You need a job, but you want a career that lasts a lifetime. The Charleston County Sheriff's Office has that career, so come and get it. With a high school diploma, you can become a detention deputy and jumpstart your career in law enforcement. You'll get benefits and pay raises. You can climb the ranks at our full-service agency.
So I'm in. Good. All right, so here's the touchless press time that we got. All right, so it's $5 a putt, right? You putt first. You make it, they have to make it, right? If you miss it and they make it, they win the tickets. And then if you both miss it, then you both miss it, that's it, right? So you make it first, they have a chance to make it, then you putt again. You miss it, they make it, they win the tickets. So they can take as many putts as they want, but it's $5. So I'm gonna just do that. We're gonna set the left outside so we can overlook this putting green wall in there, but that's the gist. So you gotta make it through.
They have to make it.
Yeah. You make it, they make it, and you do a replay. You miss it, they make it, they get it.
Perfect.
Should be pretty easy. How many votes you got? Oh, no, it's just walk up. Yeah, they pick up. Yeah. People that are playing this tournament, but it's all one team, so let's give them, we invite people that are nice. Come out.
Berkshire pontoons are quality from bow to stern. Berkshire's the only pontoon that comes standard with a composite
Well, I
deck
think
and
it's
versatile enough for the whole family to enjoy.
and then also the blue back.
The stylish comfort you'd expect from Berkshire pontoons. Get the family on the water and make memories that'll last a lifetime. Prices start in the low 40s. There are financing options made easy and affordable.
What time are you going to like right now?
7:25 is what I got the approval for.
I'll talk to you the next week then.
I don't know what you've been talking about, but whatever y'all said has gone out on the live stream. Okay. Just FYI.
Right on time.
This is what he's got. And then he said, not that I want to, but like, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, I got it worked. I got it worked where we'll get those. And that way I'm right there and you can walk over in between putts. Get it. Yeah. Hey, I was just gonna ask you that what did you send me yesterday? Was like that like the most recent? It's just because I understand 7 to 8. 7 to 8 was a big drop, but if that was like July, that makes sense.
Yeah, that was just 1 month.
Oh, a lot to happen in this segment. We are just outside also looking. Putts with Preston is coming up. Come on out to Charwood. Even if you're not playing today, challenge Preston Thorne to a putting competition. He has got his Strixon golf balls. They're got the Charwood logo. He's got a left-handed putter. If you make the putt and you beat Preston, you win tickets to the South Carolina Jacksonville State game. We'll give you tickets if you can beat Preston. Chris Deering joining us. Chris, could you outputt Preston Thorne? There you go. If Chris can beat him, you can beat him. Come on out, Charwood, 8 to 9. Stop by, say hello. We got some biscuits on the way. We're gonna have a good time, and we're gonna get you ready for golf today. We're also gonna get you ready for football tonight. Chris, happy Friday. It is it. I know that we use that awful term, week, the kickoff week 0, whatever you want to say. But this is it. We're ready to go tonight. And real quick, I appreciate everything you do for us. This is, I think, our 4th year. Your 4th year joining this program to talk about the high school highlights of the week. And obviously, for you, I know you. I've got to know you. I know your passion for what you do. I know your passion for covering this. And I know you're like a kid on Christmas morning with everything hitting full swing tonight. Real quick, obviously heat concerns this afternoon and tonight. We're playing golf, but should be fine with teeing off here at 9:30. But there are some heat concerns both tonight and this weekend. Is there any updates on times for the games that you know that have been moved around, maybe moved back? That one. Chris, next segment we'll get into the games for tonight. Real quick though, I know you've covered high school sports. You're familiar with. Just thoughts. Buddy Pugh, obviously announcing his retirement yesterday. I know you're familiar with him and have spent time around him.
Just because I have bad hand, right? They're checking out the smartphone that was close behind. Or I see it was working, so. Give me like 5 minutes. I gotta go grab the maintenance cart for Brooke, and I'll be right back.
How are you?
Yep.
Coming up in the next segment, we will get into the games for tonight. But right now, I got an announcement to make. Kind of impacts Chris as well, because Chris is going to have to up his game a little bit. Starting on Monday, if you're listening via the stream or you're listening, you can hear us live on your radio in Myrtle Beach and Florence. That's right. The 107.5 The Game team, well, guess what? We will be on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach, and we will be on 100.5 The Game in Florence. What you're hearing right now is we are becoming a network. We are taking over the state. All right, well, right now it's Florence and Myrtle Beach, but we're working toward taking over the state. That's where we're heading. So Florence, Myrtle Beach, if you're listening, good news for you. You can hear Preston and myself. You can hear Tyler in the Gamecock Central group. You'll be able to hear us all down there in Florence and Myrtle Beach. In Myrtle Beach, we will be on 100.3. It'll be 100.3 The Game. In Florence, you can hear us on 100.5 The Game. So we're excited to announce that. We are growing. We are improving. We thank all our listeners for everything they've done, because obviously If we didn't have the ratings, if we didn't have people listening like we're doing, we wouldn't be growing, but we are. So Myrtle Beach and Florence, good news. You don't have to listen via the stream anymore. You can hear us live on your radio each and every morning. It'll be the entire 107.5 The Game group in Florence and Myrtle Beach. That's right, in Myrtle Beach. You can go sit on the beach from 6 to 12 every day, and you can listen to Preston and myself and Jen, 6 to 9. And in Florence, you can listen all day long, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Again, in Florence, it'll be 100.5 at The Game. In Myrtle Beach, it'll be 100.3. We're thrilled about this, and we look forward to coming to those markets and just taking over, dominating, just dominating, crushing. Oh, I'm all over this. Billboards up and down I-20, all the way to Myrtle Beach. 95, just true. They say don't. Yes, that's a good point. People stare at good looking things as they're driving down the road. I don't want to distract people with billboards. So excited about it. We will be in Florence and in Myrtle Beach now again, starting Monday morning, bright and early. You can hear all of us 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. in Florence on 100.5 The Game, and in Myrtle Beach it'll be 6 a.m. to noon on 100.3. We'll come back with Chris and we'll talk about tonight's games. You're listening to the early game. Tell you what, keeping a house clean, it can be a bit of a mess. That's right, you heard that. It can be a little bit difficult. Keeping a house clean, it can be a bit of a mess. But you know what? It can actually be easy if you use Zerorez carpet and air duct cleaning. That's right, with their patented ZR water technology, scientifically proven to keep your carpets, your rugs, your tile, your upholstery all insanely clean. Zerorez is who you need to contact. They'll make it easy for you. They'll get your watch party ready to go by making that house look beautiful. So call today, 803-262-4020, or schedule online, zerorezcolumbia.com. Mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129. Don't wait a day longer. Call Zerorez today, 803-262-4020, or schedule online, zerorezcolumbia.com. You don't want to miss this deal. Mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $129. Zerorez, spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean. What?
You got some hard outs now, huh?
Yeah, and I'm forgetting. In the studio, I've been practicing all week looking at the screen. So I'm like, oh, okay. And so I just, I know what a minute is. Well, here, that's the second time that I've done one. And I'm like, oh, I can't count the 60 in my head and talk at the same time.
Can you count to 60 and not talk at the same time? All right, so this is the putts with Preston. This is what I told him, right? Just so if you want to announce it or whatever, or what you're talking about, Preston putts first. If he makes it, they have to make it, and then they putt again. Preston misses, they make it, they win the tickets.
Got it.
They both miss, it's over. Or they can pay to putt again if they want, but that's the deal. $5 putt. Morning, sir.
Good morning. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing well. How are you?
Good.
Is this come up on the
You're not on
live
air
stream
at
and
the
the
moment?
video?
Not right. Not at the
Nah,
moment.
Come off on the
You must be
Instagram.
fresh.
I am fresh.
Nice to meet you. I'm Jerry.
Nice to meet you, Jerry.
I met Mr. Gunn.
Alex on our live stream gets the show, or not on our live stream. Alex texted in, did Bill just refer to billboards as billboards? There you go. Good job. Good job, Alex. He gets the program. 803-404-6100. Chris Deering, Prep Red Zone Network, with us right now. Chris, officially week 1. Let's run down. Where will you be at tonight? Chris, next week we're in Florence and Myrtle Beach. We got to have an A game from you. Real quick, one game you didn't mention that we've had a couple people weigh in on: Gilbert and Batesburg Leesville tonight. This game obviously has been a huge rivalry in time. It's changed a little bit. Your thoughts on Gilbert and Batesburg Leesville? Chris, we always appreciate it. Real quick, I get a text message from Coach Gillespie, and want to mention the Watery River rivalry. Camden and Lugolf tonight. Camden and Lugolf, the Watery River rivalry. Are you aware that it was the Watery River rivalry?
My God.
Chris, we always appreciate it. Next week, bring your A game. We got to have some Florence and Myrtle Beach updates, as we'll be in Florence on, again, 100.5, in Myrtle Beach and 100.3. So we'll be covering the whole state. Always appreciate you, buddy. Or we'll be covering that area. We look forward to it. Have a great night tonight. Stay cool. It's warm out there. Take care. Take care. Chris Deering joining us. Make sure you follow him on Twitter for all the updates tonight. At CDeering82 is the way to do that. And we will continue to keep you updated. All the high school information. A lot of fun tonight. Stay cool out there, but a lot of fun. 803-404-6100. That's how you can join us this morning. You're listening to the early game.
Listen, y'all, it's 8 days until the Gamecocks kick off. We've been trying to tell you through the spring, we've been trying to tell you through the summer. It's finally time to get yourself set up with integrated media. Get your Samsung Terrace TVs, get them waterproof, Sonos outdoor speakers for TV and music, Wi-Fi that works indoors and outdoors. You have a multi-screen setup. You need to get all that taken care of now because the season is finally upon us. You want to control all of those screens from one remote? That's my favorite. You can do that too. From home theater setup to adjusting your thermostat or monitoring your security systems from your cell phone, Integrated Media is the company you need to call. So call Nathan and Michael at 803-948-8327 or check them out online at integratedmediainc.com. That's online at integratedmediainc.com. Gotcha.
Well, he's got a putter, but no, just like, just.
I kind of thought it should be up there. They don't have a cup out there.
I'm moving after this segment.
Yeah, you're gonna go out there now because that's where the holes are.
Y'all gonna be over there?
Huh?
Y'all gonna be over there though, right?
No, I'm gonna come out there. We're gonna move.
We got you set out up front. Preston, that's a tough hole too. I'm just warning you.
What's that?
That's a tough hole. It's like got a little uphill. We had to move you out here, so.
I'm ready.
I don't think anybody's gonna make it.
It's a racket. It's like a carnival ride. Like one of those fair games. Nobody
That whole
can
thing
win.
that you don't see it, it's just. Boop. I texted him.
They have a bunch of stuff that they told me they were gonna put out this morning.
The whole line stuff.
Well, it's like their signs, and I think it is all their whole line stuff.
We'll take it to the whole witness because that's what we were gonna broadcast from too. So
Okay.
take it.
I just didn't know. It's all
We're
there.
that's the next step toward Charleston. That is the next step. Yep, we're working on it. Sorry, Kevin, didn't get to that one. White. Now, he did actually mention White on Spring Valley, I think, earlier. Okay. What? Back here. What direction? Well, we'll have a few minutes here. We'll set up the putts with Preston. And But of course, right now I don't know.
What if I quit right now? What if I quit right now? I need
Yes.
Elijah, are you there? Is that who's in now? All right. How long have you been there? I apologize. Okay, so Jen just left.
She said she was leaving.
Okay. Oh, it's about that time. 7:52 on what's turning into a beautiful Friday morning. We are going to move the setup to outside now. It's about time for putts with Preston. You come on out if you're out here in the area. If you're around Charwood, come on by and hang out with us. A lot of thanks to everybody who's come by so far and hung out. Putts with Preston. If you donate $5 to Camp Cole, if you can beat Preston. So Preston's going to putt first. If he makes the putt, you've got to make it. If he misses and you make, you win tickets to the South Carolina Jacksonville State game. So we're giving you a chance to win. You got to come on out here for the next hour. Charwood Golf Club out here in West Columbia. Come on out and hang out with us. You can, if you're here, you might even be able to talk to me on the radio or talk with me on the radio as we analyze Preston's putting stroke. Jen is on her way out here. So you can come on out and hang out with us. And again, a $5 donation to Camp Cole will give you a chance to putt against Preston. You got to make the putt. If Preston misses and you make, you win tickets to the South Carolina Jacksonville State game coming up in November. If Preston makes it and you miss,
I like going first, Bill. I'm putting the pressure on him early.
Preston's going to taunt you, is what he's saying. If he makes and you miss, so you are running the risk of Friday morning embarrassment. You're running the risk of ruining your day. But if you come out here and you beat Preston, you get tickets to a football game. You can go to your office. You can brag to everybody. You beat a former South Carolina football player in an athletic competition.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. You beat him. You took him down, and you can brag about that. So come on out, make a little donation. Camp Cole, fantastic partner out here this morning with us here at 107.5 The Game as we're live at Charwood Golf Club. We're hanging out, having a good time. Got our big preseason kickoff golf tournament taking place today. Got some people starting to warm up a little bit. I forgot we have to have Preston hit the inaugural shot, or the opening shot. So we've got that coming up as well here in the final hour. We'll get into a little bit more of the Buddy Pugh situation. We'll look ahead to this weekend's college football game. We're not making picks yet. Preston and I have decided our pick 'em will start next week. We'll pick 5 games, South Carolina, Clemson, and then the big 3 games of the weekend. So we'll get that going next weekend. But again, if you want to come out here this morning, come on. We are at 222 Clubhouse Drive in West Columbia. 222 Clubhouse Drive. Plug that into your GPS and come on out. Putts with Preston. Again, a $5 donation. Do you think you're ready?
You see me. I got a left-handed putter. Got my equipment. I'm ready to go, man.
You got what was the golf line? Shrixon.
Yes. Shrixon. That's a tough word to say.
Shrixon.
I would never be able to pronounce that.
Please be careful when pronouncing that on air. You have the soft feel golf balls too. The soft feel.
Yeah, well, because I have a soft touch on the green.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, I heard it was a slow green today, and so I'm going to need to speed up a little bit.
They have not been rolled this morning, so we'll see. We'll be doing it on the front putting green out in front. We're gonna move our setup. We've been here in the clubhouse hanging out all morning. Big thank you to Chris Deering for joining us. High school season, man. Does it get into your bones a little bit?
Yes, absolutely, man. Shout out to all my partners out there coaching and all the coaches around the state, all the parents around the state. It's a great time of year. I love it.
You played and coached for prestigious programs, so you know what it's like to play in front of big crowds.
It's a fun time of year, man. Get out there and support those students, those athletes, those teachers, administrators, everybody, man. It's a great time.
What's the better high school football snack? A hot dog or just the French fries and ketchup?
Can't leave out the nachos, Bill.
Oh, nachos.
Can't leave out the nachos, Bill.
A professional is ready to take to the putting green. Come on out. $5 donation. Putt against Preston. You can donate them to Camp Cole. I'll tell you more about them coming up in the next hour. Rock Lucas will join us. Preston Thorne will break down some football. We need to have a little sports football
We'll get
segment.
sporty a little bit.
We'll do that. You're listening to Bill Gunner, Preston Thorne. Jen Jensen's on the way. It's the early game. 107.5 The Game. Okay. Want me to help you? That's the good thing about this. I'll be right back live stream, folks.
Do you want this chair? I mean, the table out there?
No, I will just set it right here. How you doing? Feel good. How you doing?
I'm already on. I don't know. I sweating. So, but that's really is. Yeah, my back's sweating. It doesn't take much for me. Yeah, me neither. Well, ready to go? Don't get out. I don't have any tickets.
All right, now.
How you doing, sir?
You got a big thing to.
I know. I know.
Hey, after the first three, though, you ought to be putting them all on.
You just gotta once I find the spot.
Just don't move it. Make the marker. You know, hit it every time. Once you're done,
Take it straight down the line.
Find your line, and you'll be beating anybody.
We'll see. So the trick is we gotta get here early. I'm gonna be practicing and they'll be fresh.
How many people, you figure you put 5 or 6 in line, that's easy money after about the third one.
Oh, good. I'm gonna get it okay.
Are they giving them their cards over here, registration? I'll take one if you want.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. We'll go get lunch one day, but I'm gonna talk with Tim. He did, yeah. He texted me last night. I got that.
I didn't want something. But he told me, he said, y'all need to let me handle it. I'm complaining the whole time. I'm gonna get I'll talk to him. I'm gonna take it all down. I'll handle it.
Y'all already all paid up.
I'm gonna go. Sorry, we're moving outside. Wild morning. Trying to put on a golf tournament. He handles it like a pro, like an absolute pro every day he deals with. You know, I know what we'll do.
Yeah, I was mistaken. It wasn't a moment.
Hey, Kendra, will you just go get that other little table for me? That's right over there.
They were just talking about it inside for a second. I know
Josh
was in there. I think Josh was taking it out there, but I know the stuff is still right here.
We got some stuff. I got some.
Josh is Josh just walked to the other side. Yeah, that's it. If you'll plug that in.
Excuse me, sir. This is my guy from Chevrolet. He might be able to help. How you doing, sir?
Great.
Yeah, yes.
Are you flipping your laptop on?
I will. I'm not right yet.
I go first.
Yeah, you go first.
I make it.
All right, we're trying to figure out Preston's putting technique. We're trying to figure out. We've moved outside the live stream now. They're looking at bellies on the live stream because I've moved the table and Justin's arm, and we're in rocking chairs.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
We're in rocking chairs. Good morning to you if you hadn't been listening, if you're just tuning in. Bill Gunner, Preston Thorne, the whole group now as we are out here live at Charwood, the 107.5 The Game preseason golf tournament. We are fully underway, and I don't know if I've ever done a show in a rocking chair. And
I'm not gonna lie, Bill. This is kind of nice.
We might have to check into one of these in the studio now.
It's all right.
Yeah, this is not bad. We're sitting on the front porch now. If you want to come out, even if you're not playing today, don't feel like you have to play. We've got a full tournament, 28 teams. We're excited to have 28 teams out here today. But if you want to come out now, if you're driving around 222 Charwood Drive Road Country Club Golf Club, go back to the address. 222 Clubhouse Drive is what you can put in the nation. Just $5 to Camp Cole. We're always thrilled with Camp Cole. They have been a big part of what we do, and we love being a part, partnering with them for this golf tournament. But if you come out and you make a $5 donation, you can putt against Preston Thorne. And if you make and he misses, you got to make the putt, by the way. But if you make, you win tickets to South Carolina Jacksonville State in November, Preston.
Good luck. I feel like I'm on my A game. The weather's nice out here. I got my special left-handed putter. I'm ready to go.
There's already $5 in the jar. There is already a gentleman standing here ready to take you on. We'll do that here in a few minutes. But just kind of recapping the morning here. Obviously, a lot of fun. Big news locally yesterday is the retirement or the official announcement, because I think you and I at one point back at least 3 years ago.
Yeah. Like I said, I knew he was in it. Coach Pugh, like all the great coaches, if they get one more quarterback or one more running back, or they think they got a good squad, they usually try and hang around. So It sort of definitely had a revival a couple years ago when they beat Jackson State in the Celebration Bowl, and he's been playing around with it, but it's hard to get those guys to give up that spot.
So Buddy Pugh announcing his retirement. They will play tomorrow night, South Carolina State and Jackson State. I know our buddy Carlton has said Jackson State has not announced a starting quarterback just yet, but you are going through our TPT Tuesday. It's Transfer Portal Tuesday, TPT Day segment, and one of the transfers you came across, Jason Brown, former Gamecock quarterback, former South Carolina quarterback, somehow, some way, still playing college football. 27th year of college football. He's been around quite a while. Another reason to tune in tomorrow night.
Yeah, and I would remind Gamecock fans, we always have to hold a special part in our heart for Jason Brown because he helped us beat that Florida team, which was falling apart admittedly, but we got that victory partly because of the way Jason Brown plays. So he's always going to have a spot in our heart here in Columbia.
Yeah, he is certainly big. I don't think people give him enough credit. Him, Zeb Nolan, how they were able to navigate the team that first year. Who knows? I mean, if Zeb Nolan doesn't come in and lead South Carolina down the field against Vanderbilt, you don't become bowl eligible. Jason Brown's play both in the Florida and Auburn game, getting South Carolina bowl eligible. So a chance maybe to watch him tomorrow night if you want to do that. 7:30 ABC again. A nice little start to the season there tomorrow night as you get Notre Dame is a 20.5-point favorite over Navy. Notre Dame trying to find a new quarterback. Well, they found a new quarterback. They went to the transfer portal. How does Sam Hartman perform?
I'm interested to see this because I want to know whether or not Sam Hartman's success was based on, I won't call it a gimmicky, but the special offense that they ran at Wake Forest. I want to see how good he is. Does he make some of the pro throws that they're required to make in the Notre Dame system? They run a pro-style offense, and so he has to make some of those throws. He's playing in a totally different system. I am interested in seeing how that turns out.
Sam Hartman will certainly be a big story tomorrow. Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman. The over-under, we did that earlier this week. The over-under on Notre Dame wins. Marcus Freeman's second season. Let me ask you this, because Notre Dame is polarizing. I don't think they're as polarizing as they were in the 90s, but they're polarizing. People kind of get on board with them, or they've got their own, network, their own television network, and NBC essentially. They negotiate their own deal. So with all that being said, where does Preston Thorne, the former college football recruit, the former college football player, where does Preston Thorne fall on Notre Dame?
I'm not as viscerally upset at Notre Dame as a lot of people are. I don't have much of a reaction to them. I always used to kind of despise them being on TV all the time when we didn't have as many games. I didn't necessarily want to watch them. So they would be the only game on NBC that would kind of get on my nerves a little bit. But other than that, not too much feelings for them. They're fine. I thought it was really cool last year when we played them in the bowl game to see us playing against.
Yeah, I love that. That was fun.
I thought that was really cool. I'm on board with Notre Dame. I'm cool. I'm fine with it.
And I honestly, to go back, South Carolina's going to play them in the SEC ACC. There's glory stories, if you will, of South Carolina. I think, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, going up in the early 80s, I believe is what it was, and beating Notre Dame in South Bend. That's one of those marquee victories that even though it's been 40 years, you still kind of clutch to it and say, remember when we did that? Remember when we went into South Bend? And I think it was Del Wilkes when we did the big podcast on that 1982. It might have been 84 when we went up there. Somebody help me out on that one. But I was two. So forgive me if my sports knowledge is a little off. But Preston, I think it was Del Wilkes who said, I looked over on the sideline and their coach looked scared. I looked over on our sideline and our coach was smoking a cigarette.
I like it.
You're telling me college football is more fun today than it used to be, and we're talking about a coach smoking a heater on the sideline in the fourth quarter. Quite the heart issue.
You definitely needed to take some breathing courses for sure. 803-404-6100.
We're gonna let Preston hit a putt here. We got We got some people lining up. Again, if you want to come out, $5 donation to Camp Cole. Very excited about that. You can putt against Preston. Come on out. 222 Clubhouse Drive is where we're at. We're at Charwood Golf Club out here. It is beautiful. It feels great right now, doesn't it?
Really nice and really beautiful outside.
Before the storm, for what I've been reading about, but it feels fantastic. Come on out, even if you're not playing. Putt against Preston. Give yourself a chance this morning to win some tickets to South Carolina, Jacksonville State. We're also going to announce our ultimate season ticket giveaway winner here in just a little while. So we got a lot going on as Preston and I pose for photos. There we go. Come on, take the photo, Rock.
We're gonna need the Rock to get us set up on the tee to see where we be putting. Is that the right lines right?
We'll do that. We'll do that. You're listening to Bill Gunner, Preston Thorne. Jen Jensen is on her way. It's the early game. Okay, that's me. I'm ready. I tell you what, it's Friday. The weekend has officially started. Kind of. I didn't make it to Old Timey Meat Market yesterday, but I can tell you where I'm going right after I finish playing golf with Brock Lucas today. I am heading to Old Timey Meat Market. It's Friday night. It's high school season. You might be going out to tailgate at your favorite high school game, and if you're going to tailgate, you need to grill. And if you're going to grill, well, you need to go visit Old Timey Meat Market for a nice steak, maybe some chicken, some pork, whatever it may be. Maybe you want to do a little fish tonight. Whatever it is, Old Timey Meat Market has you taken care of. 3 locations: South Congaree, Irmo, and Lexington. At the absolute best price. Don't believe me? Go check it out for yourself. Again, South Congaree, Irmo, and Lexington. Whether it's steak, whether it's pork, whether it's chicken, whether it's salmon, they got great cuts of salmon. Maybe you want oysters. Maybe you're thinking about breakfast in the morning. They've got a great selection of thick cut bacon. They got pepper bacon. It'd be like Bubba Gump going about all the bacon they got. Go visit Old Timey Meat Market today. Again, South Congaree, Irmo, or Lexington. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you. What? No, keep it going. It's fine. Shoot, at this point, I'm just making it happen. Yeah, no, we'll talk. There's going to be some moving parts. There's some stuff going on. But making that announcement, Monday we're in Florence or Myrtle Beach.
Well, that was a good line. All right, you got to get your game on.
You and Jerry? All right, hold on. Let me turn around the live stream here. They're not going to have a great view, but all right, if y'all can see it out there, let's see. All right, you can kind of see Jerry and Preston.
Do you know the difference between a revocable trust and an irrevocable trust? The difference could easily save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in long-term care costs. Visit RoyalLease.com to schedule a consultation today.
Lexington Medical has once again earned the nation's highest ratings for 3 types of heart surgery, and they're the only hospital in South Carolina to do it. These elite 3-star ratings mean the best part here is that
Where's Josh? Did you make it?
Yes.
You made it. Where's Kendra? Where's Josh?
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring correctional officers, nurses, food services, facilities maintenance, mental health professionals, law enforcement officers, teachers, and more statewide. There are sign-on bonuses for officers, food services, nurses, and law enforcement officers. South Carolina Department of Corrections has great employee benefits like 6 weeks of PTO accrued yearly and police officer retirement. Start a rewarding new career today. Visit joinsctc.com to apply.
Not yet. I've been watching.
Where do I collect my prize?
You won against Preston? Look at their name and rating them.
If y'all want to putt against Preston, if anybody wants to putt against. Yeah, I'll take that out there and just say it out loud so they know as people are coming up. What to do? You take that.
He's doing it because I
Just put it in the notes. I'd get him another. Okay. Yeah, go right. Just go right out there. Just right out there by Preston. We should have had a sign for that.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide. Huge pay raise. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply. WYSC First Alert Traffic on 1075 today. Everyone, as your morning has continued, it's time for another First Alert Traffic update, and this one's still another good one.
No. Preston going now. No.
Still good day-to-day traffic, but make it a great Friday out there. Continue to be courteous to your fellow motorists. Make it a great travel day. I'm WIS First Alert Meteorologist Tony Chavarro. The early game with Phil Gunter, our Gamecock Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5
Rolling along on a Friday morning. Hope you're doing well. Bill Gunner, Preston Thorne, live from Charwood Golf Club. Get on out here. $5. Somebody has already won some tickets to Jacksonville State and South Carolina coming up in November because they beat you in putting, Preston Thorne. They made a putt and you didn't.
That was before I was warmed up, Bill.
Okay.
I'm going to just tell you right now, if you're coming out here, you better get out here early because I'm getting loose. I just made one. I'm ready to go.
So we have got that. So you can come on over. We're on the front putting green. You can walk up. We've got one of our salespeople with a jar. You just put $5 in, and you basically tell Preston, "Hey, big boy, get out here and take me on." So that's what we got going on. A lot to kind of get to here, and not so much time to do it. One of the things that popped up last night, Preston, ACC once again seriously considering Stanford, Cal, and SMU. They have to get the votes to do it. Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina State are pretty adamant they don't want to be a part of this. Let me ask you, if I just say it out loud, like what is your opinion of Stanford, Cal, and SMU being in the ACC?
Yeah, initially I don't like it. I don't even know what it means. I'm not sure how it fits. I don't think those schools necessarily fit, though I did read that SMU is so desperate. They were willing to forego the money for, I believe it was 7 years I read, just to get a chance to be part of the crew.
you know what, part of it, I could make the joke that SMU is the kid that's running around going, "What do you want from me?
That's
You
exactly
want my
what.
Superman toy? You want my
exactly
He-Man
what-
toy? Whatever. I'll give you. I'll give you whatever you want. Just let me hang with you guys." But realistically, SMU sees the future, and SMU sees an opportunity right now. They're trying to capitalize on it. And quite frankly, Oregon State, who's top 20 this year, Washington State, aren't trying to do. If I'm Oregon State, if I'm Washington State, if I'm one of these schools, man, college football, the evolution of college football as we know it has already begun. And it is going to get to the point now where if you're not in big boy football, if you're not in the SEC, the Big 10, and the Big 12, and the ACC is yet to be determined. But if you're not in one of those leagues, I'm sorry, you're now in the FCS. That's what it's or whatever second tier we're going to create.
Yeah, and SMU is in a even worse predicament because they feel like their money should be able to buy them into any situation. They have a bunch of money. They're from a rich part of town. They're from Dallas. They feel like, hey, is our money not any good here? And everybody's like, we don't know if we really want y'all around. But they're like, can I buy my way in? What can I do? So that's the situation that SMU is in because they have all the financial resources, but I'm just not sure anybody wants them to be part of the party.
You have taken a strong stance against the all nerd conference. Cal and Stanford technically fit that.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, I have a plan for it.
Well, let me ask you this: there are people now coming out saying basically to the ACC, like, "Hey, look, Cal and Stanford are legitimate conferences. You cannot, or excuse me, they're legitimate teams. You cannot leave them out of a conference. They need to be involved. They have to be involved. You cannot leave them out. Look, Stanford had a nice run with David Shaw and Andrew Luck and that, and going back even to Jim Harbaugh. But Stanford academically can't compete in what is now becoming college. Well, they can't.
Really quick, athletic.
That's academically.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Well, because of academics, I guess is what I'm saying.
Right.
Academically,
Yes.
because of what they're doing, they can't compete. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it makes it really difficult for them to do that. Now, again, if this conversation is strictly about football, then I don't think Stanford can be in this conversation. However, if you extend the conversation out to all the other sports, spring sports, Olympic sports, women's basketball, then obviously Stanford has a very strong athletic program. But this conversation is based on football. With that being said, I don't think they're in the same class.
The only thing that I'm interested in is the Big 12.
Not to cut you off, but also realizing that when Stanford was really good, they had two dynamic coaches in Jim Harbaugh and David Shaw. Those dudes were excellent football coaches. The idea that maybe if they brought somebody who was a little bit less talented than David Shaw and Jim Harbaugh, that program might not work because those two dudes were tremendous as coaches.
Well, and again, to go back to what we're talking about here and how it pertains to the ACC, I'm interested to see how this decision saves the ACC because I do think maybe I'm wrong on this. I think the Pac-12, George Kliavkoff had an idea that should be kind of looked at, and that is the idea of streaming, getting into one of these streaming networks and partnering with them. I don't know what, I'm not trying to go down a rabbit hole of, hey, what do you think about the future of TV? I do think there is a level of streaming television that somebody's going to have to get involved in, whether it's Apple, whether it's Hulu or Amazon or whatever, or even YouTube TV, which I have, being able to go in and get their own personal television deal.
I agree. I do think that there is a future there. I just think the Pac-12 overestimated their value to the college football landscape. I think SEC or a Big 12 type of conference might be able to pull that type of thing off, but Pac-12 was not going to be able to be the
Well, here's the thing with what they did, where they messed up. They have to understand you have to kind of look at it as what the Big 12 is doing. Pay attention to this, folks. I know this sounds crazy. I know this is, but if you listen to Brett Yormark, and by the way, we probably should have brought up his comments to Texas Tech about going to play Texas. But if you listen to Brett Yormark, one thing that he is looking at and that is talking about is media rights for basketball. And that's why you watch, if the ACC were to break up and dissolve, I can see a scenario where Duke, because of their basketball program, is an attractive option. Look, We heard it. It was out there. The Big 12 was looking at UConn and Gonzaga. Come on, man. I don't even think Gonzaga has a football. If they have a football club, or football. It's a club. It would be a club team. If they have it, I'm unaware of it. And UConn brings nothing to football. There's a reason the Big 12 was looking at those schools. Duke brings you another football program, and Mike Elko right now,
on the uptrend. I mean, whatever that's for
I
them.
thought about doing our bold predictions segment today. One of my bold predictions next week might be, hey, Clemson, look out. You go up to Wallace Wade on a Monday night. Everybody knows you just don't stroll into Wallace Wade on a Saturday and roll out a victory. Wallace Wade on a Monday night has got to be something of.
I've talked to some of my Clemson partners who said that they literally, not figuratively, literally were falling asleep at Duke Stadium during one of the games they played them at a specific time. So, yeah, it's they have a different home field advantage. Sort of in the Vanderbilt category of home field advantages.
You have a challenger, Preston Thorne.
I shall be ready to go.
How about you step up this time? You're in a bad place there with what we're trying to accomplish. Preston's going
ready to go.
Another putts with Preston, but joining me now, straight out of the studio. The way it works is you step closer to the box.
Well, yeah, I know, but you thought I was kidding when I was like kind of choking you with the cord. It was on purpose. It wasn't an accident.
I'm glad you can come out here to see. What do you think so far?
It's beautiful. I'm anxious to see how has Preston been putting.
He is 0 for 1 in challenges here. But reminder, now they've changed. Now I was about to yell, scream into the mic, and I just realized I'm on air. They've changed, I think, where they putted from. Yeah, they're moving it again. You can come out here. Even if you're not playing, you can come out. $5 donation to Camp Cole. $5 donation. You can putt against Preston. You have to make the putt, which now we made semi-impossible. Actually, it's not that tough of a putt. It doesn't break that much. All right, little surprise in there. It's uphill, left to right break from where we're sitting. Yep, uphill. You got to hit it uphill. I still think they've made it a little bit too difficult.
For both of them.
Really got up there. We didn't get that golfer's name. That was more of a gopher than a golfer. But no, so Preston doesn't make, but neither does the golfer. But you can come out, even if you're not playing today. Stop by here. $5 donation. Putt against Preston. Putts with Preston is what we're calling it. $5 donation. If you can make your putt and Preston misses, and trust me, he's not going to make. I mean, it's basically, can you make your putt?
So in one putt.
One putt.
Not like a par putt kind of thing where like if it was a.
Right. No, you got one putt. Okay. It's a one-time opportunity, and I'm here, and now I feel like they can hear me on the speakers out there, so I know they're hearing me say that this putt has now become too difficult.
It's pretty tight. Yeah, going up that hill. I mean, you're right. You're totally right, but depending on where they're setting up.
Oh, now Preston's getting the price. Great. He's being lined up. 803-404-6100 if you want to weigh in this morning. I want to get into the Jim Harbaugh situation a little bit. Michigan's going to rotate coaches. We'll talk about that. Jensen has made the arrival here. Is that a fanny pack?
Isn't that cute? And it's so colorful and pretty. Just like somebody does carry.
Preston just made the fun.
Stop it. And I missed it. I want to see a replay.
Preston just made the putt.
Nice job.
He's on his A game, folks. Come challenge him. $5 donation to Camp Cole, and you can putt against Preston. You're listening to Bill Gunner, Jen Jensen, and apparently the master of the greens, Preston Thorne, who's out there. It's the early game.
Okay, there's something that I want to say.
Maybe one, yeah.
I'm impressed.
I am too.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Guys, you finally got here to keep you guys straight.
I know, right?
I've been running wild without you.
They tend to do that. Like I had to bring the leash.
1-1 now.
That's awesome.
1-1 now.
Dangerous man. Yeah, you get migrated for it. I thought that. Yeah, I'd rather see that. The cat helmet that Josh has on right now.
Yeah, I've got one of those, but I don't play golf.
No.
And you got one.
Yeah,
I heard it beat Brandon.
yeah, you showed Brandon.
Brandon showed him the line and
Actually beat somebody.
Yeah, that's what it does.
Yeah, after he was trolling, you know, that's
Hey, how are you doing?
hey, good to see you,
Good to
sir.
see you.
How are you doing?
Doing fine, thank you.
Good.
Glad to have y'all out here.
Yeah. Always good to have you.
I messed up and coached him.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I messed up and coached him. I was trying to make it competitive for the rest of the golf.
Was it? I still think that's too hard to play. Like,
I don't know. I don't hurt us tonight. That's all I'm asking.
I don't know.
You heard
It's
us
gonna be.
last night.
I think it's gonna be competitive. And I mean on our side, since we've been hurting for the last few years.
Oh, so close.
and then I finally had to sped up, and I was like, "We got a sales guy out there. Don't know his name. We got a sales guy." Really?
That's why I do what
I thought they put it somewhere else for the other guy that won. Really?
Uh-huh. No, that helps. Nice.
One. Yeah, we won one. Tyler, what's up, man?
Yeah, I'll go want one. For
Yeah, I'll get one.
Whatever you
Once you
grab,
finish.
like whatever. Something when we go tee out. Yeah. I just said biscuit. I just said biscuit.
All right.
What the hell? That's the back end.
Yeah.
It wasn't like what we see, because I thought, oh, hell.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
But it fires automatically.
it's supposed to, Matt. It didn't. Because we had something else going on, so it did not. But yeah, it's supposed to. But he's going to look for us. We can
Okay. I'm gonna try one.
Sir.
Just say, I thought I was noticing maybe. Whatever.
Okay. Oh, we got some breakfast biscuits provided by Rock Lucas and Charwood. We got.
He made those himself, didn't he?
He did. Yes, he has been slaving in the kitchen all morning long.
I noticed the flour on him. That's what we'll give him.
He did. He did have a bit of an apron. He was in the kitchen all morning making biscuits for all 28 teams. So if you come out, make sure you get a Rock Lucas Charwood breakfast biscuit this morning as we hang out live. It feels great. It feels great out here. It looks beautiful. A lot of people coming up. Preston Thorne has made a putt.
Look at you, man.
Won a victory. Shout out to Coach Brandon over there with the airport girls and boys golf. He gave me a crucial pointer, which I was able to utilize and beat him with his pointer. So
a pointer hit it in the cup.
It was a little bit more than that, but he gave me a directional thing, and then I think I'm locked in.
Okay, so
You really are. You could be a significant challenge now.
if you want to come and challenge Preston, please come out and do that. $5 donation to Camp Cole. That's all it'll cost. If you can beat Preston, if you can make a putt and beat Preston, you will win tickets to the South Carolina Jacksonville State game coming up in November. Again, thank you to Camp Cole. Designed for the heart for children, teens, and adults with illness and disabilities, life challenges. Camp Cole is and connect, share, encourage, and shine. Big thank you to Camp Cole for being out here today and being a part of this great event. Again, big thank you to Rock Lucas and everybody for putting it on. Jim Harbaugh is suspended. And I love this story because Michigan is just basically like, yeah, we're going to suspend our coach, but we're not even going to name an interim head coach. It's coached by committee. Basically, if we'd have gone up to Michigan, I'm pretty sure they'd have been like, Jim, you got the first quarter. Bill, you got the second quarter. Preston, you get the third quarter. And then as a team, y'all will coach in the fourth quarter, to which Jen would have slapped both of us in the back of the head and done it. So I'm fascinated by this, Preston, because in a game, how much did you ever talk to Lou Holtz? How much did you see him involved with offensive and defensive? What is a coach's role? Is it time management and basically overruling Charlie Strong or back then Skip Holtz on plays? What is give us a perspective.
It all depends, but a lot of times the coach's job is to be listening on the headphones. He's the only one who has control that can go back and forth. So if it's three of us, and let's say Bill's the head coach, Jen's the offensive coordinator, I'm the defensive coordinator, I can talk to my staff and Bill. Jen can talk to her staff and Bill, but Bill's the only person who can talk to everybody. And so the head coach is the person that can go back and forth between things. So a lot of times, let's say if I'm on the defensive side and I'm just saying, if we could just get Jen to score some points over there, we might be all right. She can't hear that, but you can hear that, and you might say like, all right, guys, calm down, So that's what, in my experience, that's what the head coach does a lot, is just mediate between the two sides.
So to break this down, the defensive coordinator, Jesse Minter, will serve as the game day coach against East Carolina, right? All right, so East Carolina, we now know, must mean a little something because we only have one coach. UNLV's got to be looking around like, what did we do? Because on September 9th, it would be Jim Harbaugh's son, and running backs coach Mike Hart will split duties with each coach coaching a half. So Jay Harbaugh gets a half, Mike Hart gets a half. I mean, this is essentially the rolled gold pretzel commercial where they should have just had a huge raffle, and the biggest donor who wanted to pay $250. Jim Harbaugh, I'm just talking out loud and talking myself through this. Jim Harbaugh should have done a raffle to pay his fine. To pay his fine and be like, we'll let any one of you boosters coach a game.
What is this on Jay do aside from coaching a half?
Gets his coffee. The stuff you do for me, get my laundry, coffee, that's precisely what Jay does.
Jen, we are in alignment, because somewhere down the line on Jay Harbaugh's resume, that's going to say, well, he was a head coach.
Great.
He won a conference game or whatever whipped up a big conference game, and that'll be a byline somewhere.
You put in there, I want a half or I want a game.
Oh, it's a full game.
Are you 1-0 as a head coach?
1-0. You coach a half, you coach the game. It's gonna say somewhere, some school.
Or should he? Would he get the win?
Some sport, don't, for God forbid, they have to like come back, even if it's from 3-0. It's gonna be like, he let a comeback victory.
Oh, listen, whoever gets the second half of that game, aren't you just kind of messing with the game plan? Because Michigan's good. Michigan is the challenger to Georgia right now for the national championship. Michigan's got the quarterback. Alabama and Ohio State are trying to figure out the quarterback situation. LSU does have a quarterback. I really like LSU, but yeah, if you're like you sabotage us a little bit so that Mike Hart's first half goes poorly.
Also, is Jay Harbaugh the special teams coach? You said.
Yeah. So
you know there's gonna be
punts get blocked. Some
no. You thinking wrong way. As a special teams coach, we're gonna do some trick plays.
That's what I'm saying. Like you tell your punter like, hey man, here's an extra 100. Allow that punt a little bit slower on the release time, just a little bit slower, and then you step into the second half and you're like, all right, we got it. And all of a sudden on your resume, comeback victory against
big comeback victory against an FCS opponent.
What would you think about it? I'll go back. Let's use that game for example, because the defensive coordinator Jesse Minter is going to take the East Carolina game. Offensive coordinator Sharon Moore is going to take the Bowling Green game. So they're and that understand. That's typically how it works. You let your offense or defensive coordinator step in as interim coach. In this situation, in that UNLV game, by the way. How would that affect you as a player?
It would not affect me as a player. You probably not. Nothing's going to change very much from who they were or what they're doing. That's not going to be a big difference. But all jokes aside, it does give these coaches a chance to be in the hot seat of being decisions. There is something for that. There is a value to that for these coaches. So I get it. There is some value in it.
Another challenger. Yeah, they're warming up. They're warming up. Let's do that. We'll come back. Jen and I'll break down the final segment live from Charwood Golf Club. Preston's going to go hit a putt. We're hanging out. Hope you're having a great Friday morning. You're listening to Go Gun and Preston going to Jen Jensen's the early game.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to. Here, let you talk to him real quick.
Yeah, we're good. Hey, how are you doing? Good to see you. I can't hear. I'm talking about loud. Hold on. Huh? Do what? I do and I don't. Ask, you see in the black skirt, that's her name's Amanda, talking to the guy in the white shirt.
Yep.
She knows.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You come in, you got to meet Mr. Gamecock.
Okay, Mr. Gamecock.
That's right. Larry ain't got no time with me. He come in the 80s and 90s. I've been there since the 40s.
Okay.
I was born and raised in Olympia. I graduated high school there in Olympia, and they let us in free back when I started playing pool to have a crowd. And I'm 92 now, and and 46 or whatever, and I'd make $2 a day.
Was that was that in? I'm curious. Was that in a glass bottle? Was it a glass bottle you sold, Coach?
Yeah, 10 cents a day. I'd go to top with what crowd didn't hold what 25, 30,000 back in 46, and go back to 45. Tickets booked for 50 cents because of the military got in. Yeah, I was born and raised on the corner of Rough Road and Georgia Street. I graduated in 51. I'm a co-red veteran. And I listen to y'all. Gamecock Larry ain't got no time with me. I got him whipped.
I'm actually. I hope he's okay.
Yes, I was supposed to be
Yeah. And we go anywhere in country and ask y'all know Dana Baker. That's my nickname. I've had it for 35 years.
Dana Baker.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I only put 10. I was trying to learn last night.
I got one there. I've been up 10 years. Reserved for Dynamite. I want to tell you.
I played around with this for a little while.
I
If I see a line, I'm like, there's all there is. Okay,
ain't much for the more they got.
Yes, sir.
I ain't got no time with me. I go back to 42.
Oh, no. 42. Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah. I was thinking last night. I had to take two. I took. I think I took Kenny. Anywhere you go.
Boring to go at.
Supposed to be.
I know. I'll believe it when I see it. I can't give up, but not giving up.
You've been a Lions fan all your life. There's no point in giving up at this point. You hanging it.
If I stayed with the Wolverines for 12 years, I'm right that I am.
Because of my mom.
I'll keep you updated. Don't play the don't play the retired. It's not the lottery right now. Yeah, don't get carried away right now. But I will say, if we win,
I was down at Somerville Presbyterian. You used to come over about this big and play basketball, and I couldn't get a rebound over you. You got the strongest hand. My son Chris.
What's up, Chris? I was talking about how we used to play ball.
Oh yeah, I miss that.
It was good time.
It was good.
What you look at?
Up with them, getting out. I'll let you get back at it.
Good to see you.
He used to, they used to have pumps in Carolina. Now they don't. I go, and hey, one more thing. You know who the trainer was back in the 40s? A colored fella named him. They had a shotgun house in the north end zone on the east side. And they lived in that 3-bedroom house, him and his wife, but he was a trainer back in the 40s. Hey, I'll go back over
Right in the 40, yeah. I'll mention that. Dana baby. Got it. It's nice meeting you. Dana baby, right?
Right, Dana baby. Ask anybody in Columbia. Hey, I'm well known. I got a good reputation. I played football.
All right. How you guys think it's going?
Looks like it's filling up. I see a lot of folks around here, man. This is good to see.
We've been talking, Jen and I, off air with Dana baby, who was born with the stadium. Yep. Back in, he said he was there 1940s. He sold Coca-Cola. How much in 1940?
Oh, I would say less than 10 cent, maybe.
10 cent.
That's
what Dana baby said. Yeah.
Right on time.
There you go.
My inflation calculator in my mind was running to you.
Yeah, there you go.
He read my bill.
Gotta add it up. 803-404-6100 if you want to weigh in as we wrap up. Big thank you to Rock Lucas. Big thank you to Daniel Lucas. They've been fantastic out here this morning with their hospitality. Again, it is our annual preseason kickoff golf tournament. Preston, you didn't come out last year, did you? You were not in the 69.
I had not entered into the trash.
True. Yeah, he was. But yeah, it's It's been fantastic this morning. Big thank you to everybody. Dana Baby stopped by. We saw Carlton stop by. Brandon taught Preston how to putt, and Preston made a putt, and now nobody will challenge him. You still got time. You can come over. $5. $5 all it takes. Donation to Camp Cole. It's a donation to Camp Cole. We love being affiliated with Camp Cole and everything they do with us. And again, just a reminder, you can come and donate. Camp Cole, fantastic organization. Again, they have been with us in several of these golf tournaments, and we love being a part of it. Again, they are a foundation that is designed from the heart for children, teens, and adults with illnesses, disabilities, life challenges. Camp Cole is a camp and retreat center where everyone, regardless of their circumstances, can connect, share, encourage, and shine. They have done a fantastic job. Over 1,800 campers with illness. They still got time. All of you, I know you can hear me out there with the speaker. It's $5. $5 is all it takes. You can challenge Preston Thorne right here. You can say you beat a former Gamecock athlete in an athletic competition. $5 donation. If you win, if you make the putt, you get some tickets to the Southbound Jacksonville State.
Wrong arm, he can't hit.
Yeah, Preston's being heckled now by Dana Baby. This weekend, Notre Dame Navy, South Carolina State, as we kind of wrap up, South Carolina State in Jackson State, Vanderbilt, Clark Lee, another guy, your guy.
Big Clark Lee guy.
How are you doing? What will you be most interested in this weekend? Will you learn from anything this weekend?
I'm not sure we'll learn anything about Vanderbilt based on who they're playing, but I was a big Clark Lee fan throughout the season just because of the way he kept that team together. He kept that team through what were some adverse times and the way they pulled together at the end of the season. I respected it a lot. I don't know if they'll ever have the talent to be very good, but they'll be competitive.
I think their over/under on season win total is 3.5.
I'll take the over.
I'm very turned off by it.
Yeah, right there.
You're not here. You don't know what's going on right now. It's a you got to be here kind of thing. Yeah, as you in the background. But Vanderbilt this weekend, obviously. Again, what else? We will not unless if somebody knows how, let us know. Pac-12 Network. San Jose State travels to Southern Cal. Southern Cal's number 6 in the country. Big spread there, but a chance for Caleb Williams to start his second Heisman campaign, trying to become the first two-time Heisman winner since Archie Griffin.
Bill, I have no football analysis, but I will say Caleb Williams maybe rising quickly on my guys. Yeah, it's curly hair. And he's just mentioning how he's not going to be in the NCAA football game. So I got my eye on him. Also, we'll be watching.
He might be making an appearance on Thornton's Butts and Roses.
He might be. There's a very strong possibility. Also, we got an eye on Marshawn Lloyd. So we want to see how that goes.
Yeah, again, Pac-12 Network. So if you know how to watch that, good luck to you. I don't know, maybe Hulu or something. I don't know. It's on streaming network. Oh wait, Southern Cal 30.5-point favorite. Vanderbilt 17-point favorite over Hawaii. 17. You taking Commodores?
Commodores.
Oh, okay, big one. Obviously, the massive game of the weekend. Everybody's fired up. The dead last team in the ESPN Football Power Index, the FPI. UMass traveling to New Mexico State tomorrow night. 6.5-point spread in that game. If you bet on that, if you watch that, seek help. That's all I can say. Like, counseling is your friend. UMass and New Mexico State tonight. For funsies.
They should just run all of the betting. If you need help, if you need to talk to somebody, just run that commercial over and over.
You know what they should do? In all honesty, they should let Johnny Manziel broadcast. That would get you. If you let Johnny Manziel broadcast, see what he said. We'll play. I'll tell you what. The Wheel of Misfortune. Because I have no clue on UMass and New Mexico State. Neither do you. 6.5. New Mexico State is the favorite. They're at home. UMass is dead last in the FIP.
Give me the Minutemen.
Yeah,
because I know they're
taking home. Okay, all right. For a spin of the wheel. Jen, you want in on this?
Oh.
You want to challenge me on this? I could be a double loser on this.
I thought you were a double loser anyway. But go ahead. What?
You got to cut Jen's mic.
No, that's it.
That's all right. All right. What do you want? UMass or New Mexico State? Spin the wheel of misfortune.
I'm looking at the rest of my.
Everybody knows your guess is as good as mine.
New Mexico State.
All right, that's great. So I'm going to lose. That was actually brilliant on both of your parts. I'm spinning the wheel regardless. That was completely unintentional. That was completely unintentional, and y'all figured it out. Again, big thank you to everybody out here today. The crowd is filling up. This is a lot of fun. We appreciate each and every one. I want to remind you, hey man, starting Monday, we are in Florence and Myrtle Beach. We are excited about it. We're coming to Florence and Myrtle Beach. So call up your friends, call up your family, tell them to hide the kids, hide everybody. The early game, or what we call the early game, as well as 107.5 game. We will be in Florence on 100.5, and we will be in Myrtle Beach on 100.3. It'll be 100.5 the game, and it'll be 100.3 the game. We will be in Florence and Myrtle Beach. So tell everybody, spread the good word.
Can't believe you missed the opportunity, Bill. We're coming to their city.
I heard my man again.
He kind of like threw everybody off a little bit.
Coming to your city.
Love it.
College football is back. High school football is tonight.
We'll introduce PB&J later. We'll let you think.
Oh, Jim's got Jim. What are we now?
PB&J. Preston, Bill, and Jen.
PB&J.
Good for your breakfast.
Thank you to everybody participating today. Thank you to Rock Lucas, wherever he's at. Appreciate it. A lot of fun. Tyler Head is behind me. You eat breakfast yet? He's eating. He's ready to go. Y'all have a great day. Good. Yeah. Later.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
What if we considered inside? What would happen?
Oh, yeah. I'm just. Do pictures of this on the south. We do a broadcast in Rock.
Oh yeah. Press no about that. All right, Tom, what do you need real quick? The only concern I got for you is I have to do announcements. Okay, your buddy getting out of loud. No, okay. It's far home, swing it.
Absolutely.
Yes, because obviously Dana baby decided to do his own personal announcement.
Yeah.
Oh, he was hurt, all right.
I'm gonna leave this on if y'all want to just keep watching. I'm gonna leave y'all alone. Leave this on for y'all to keep watching, and I'll cut it off for a little while. So hang out, just have it on in the background, see what happens. I'll even we'll do this because I don't need my computer. We'll make Tyler and Colin live stream. Let's see if how charged it's pretty charged. There you go. See, I'll just hang around. Bonus edition.
Get as close as we can.
There you go. Get in there.
Sure.
Here, I can move this down a little bit more. Good. Kind of. If Colin will be nice, he'll slide next to you. You can
kind of like slide over about a foot.
There you go. Y'all go out.
Sure.
Right here. You want some recliners?
Yeah.
Recliner maybe?
Nice.
Look you guys up. Impressed with your putting game, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Very nice. What was the point of it?
Tell me, hit it as if it was there, because it was going to go back over.
Oh, is that why you got a little extra oomph on it?
Wi-Fi. It's the Linksy's Charwood, and the password is Charwood Golf, all lowercase.
All lowercase.
We want to lock on it.
Have you retired now?
Hell, they know.
Are you retired?
As long as I'm good, I'll take it.
Yes, if anybody else wants to do it.
Say no. How many people have put you?
Once so far. The house wins pretty much regardless.
I know you were practicing in the studio the other day.
Yeah.
Whose putter is it? Now, who decides where y'all start at?
Yeah.
Kind of like horse.
Yeah. So I've been shooting the same shot over and over.
Smart.
I've been missing.
What's that? 9:30. Apparently Preston's firing off the shot to start.
Yeah, that too. Forgot about that. No,
Preston's firing the shotgun start.
For the shotgun starter. Hope not.
I don't know. At this point, I think we
Have we fulfilled our contractual duties?
Yeah.
And welcome into In the Bonus. Tyler Head, Colin Taylor along with you out at the 107.5 The Game preseason kickoff golf tournament out here at the Charwood Golf Club in West Columbia. Colin, I've done radio shows in a lot of different locations, sitting on the front porch in rocking chairs, overlooking people practicing their putts. It's definitely a first.
This is nice compared to not that I don't love the studio, but it's nice to get out in the elements. And I was riding past the range today. Brought my clubs, so maybe I just hop into a golf cart and see what happens. But I'm here for the long haul for you today.
I appreciate it. Wes and Chris will be joining us at some point later on this morning, but there for the full 3 hours. They'll show up at some point in time. So we got to get our week zero conversation in during this hour because we know Wes is very much anti week zero, which I don't understand. Football is football, and we've been starved for it for so long. I could care less if 3 Division 3 teams were playing tomorrow. I'd watch that game.
Right. That's one of those things to where it's football. Like if this was the week 4 schedule, maybe not. But the fact that it's week 0, we've been without football forever. It's just that's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And that all gets kicked off tomorrow with Navy Notre Dame at 2:30 on NBC, and we'll certainly dive into that a little bit more as the morning goes along. Again, we're broadcasting live out here at the Charwood Golf Club in West Columbia for the 107.5 Game preseason kickoff golf tournament. Going to be out here all day long. Jay and Terry will be out here and having a good time. I believe we're getting started with the golf itself at about 9:30. Supposedly, Preston's supposed to fire off the shotgun start. Preston was telling us before we went on here, he's actually been doing pretty well this morning with his putts with Preston. Only one person got the better of him so far and scored tickets to the Jacksonville State game.
That is not the kind of there you go. Well, congratulations, Preston. He did say it was a borrowed putter.
Yes.
From his time. So we will. I think that he did well with his borrowed.
He just nailed one. I don't know if they beat Preston or not.
He's got a smile on his face, so I don't know what that means, but. Good live play-by-play. He's shaking hands.
2 people have successfully defeated Preston now.
So hold up number 2.
You know what?
Looks like he's been defeated.
You can't be perfect. It's okay.
You know what? And for Preston, he's had enough athletic successes in his life.
So, all right. Well, we'll certainly keep you updated with everything going on with Preston this morning. He's out there putting with Preston. And again, broadcast live at the Charwood Golf Club in West Columbia. Plenty to get to in regards to college football as we are on the precipice of week 0 coming up tomorrow afternoon. And we'll certainly dive into that a little bit more. Beautiful morning out here. Not too hot, I believe. Kind of cloudy as of right now, so I imagine the sun will be rolling in at some point in time. Hopefully, it doesn't cook us too much here on the front porch, but we'll see what happens. Work through some technical problems here with Colin's microphone. I just want to make sure everybody can hear him. Give that a shot, Colin. Yep. All right. Bring my co-host back in here.
Sorry, completely my fault.
Yeah, I think we're good.
I walked away to try to enjoy a biscuit.
Are we?
I think we're good now. I think I can hear you loud. There we go.
I'm snacking on the biscuit. Talking with you guys. You good now? Everybody good?
You know what? We were just talking about this. We went out Firehouse Subs the other day. We lost connection. And it was just like me and Colin there trying to figure it out. So it's good that we have other people around here today.
Phone a friend.
That's right.
I gotta go save y'all one more time. Keep talking.
I think I gotta be really bad.
doing it because you were like scrambling and all this stuff during the commercial break. There's nothing I could do to help out.
Well, you know,
so I was doing the Immaculate Grid while you were doing that, and then I'll never like. The funniest moment of all of it was I finally got the last tile on the Immaculate Grid, and I was like, "Hey, by the way, I got it." And you're like, "I was like, Colin Moran pitched or played for the Pirates and the Reds," and you're like, "I'll take your word for it." And you were like fiddling with all this stuff, and I was over there just playing on my phone the entire time.
It's the moral support. It really is. By the way, those Immaculate Grids are.
Yes, I'm looking at it now.
Like, is baseball the hardest one to do? Because when you talk about guys that can play for so many different teams or play for 2 or 3 teams in a season, it's so much more prevalent in baseball, trade deadline and all those kind of things. Like, you know, you mentioned something, who played for the Braves and the Red Sox, and I'm sure there's a long list of guys that have. The only one I can think of is like John Smoltz.
Right. So it's one of those things where if you're not looking at it, you're like, oh yeah, of course that this guy played for this team or that team. The ones that one guy's played for an entire team his entire career, right? And then like plays for like 4 teams in 2 years at the end of his career, right? And it's like, oh yeah, that guy, and or like these like utility men kind of things. So it's tough.
There's somebody on the NASCAR subreddit that posts one every single week. Like, I struggle with some of those too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, man, it was sponsored by these 2 companies.
Right. You're like, it's on that. Like, if you were just talking to people, you would know in the heartbeat. But the problem is, it's like now you're being quizzed on it. And
right. I know, like casual conversation wouldn't have any problem.
You like something. You second guess yourself 6 ways to Sunday with some of these. So that's the ones where it's like, I don't know this guy. Did he pitch for the Cubs? Did he not pitch for the Cubs? Like I think he did, but I'm not sure. Then you really get so many guesses. So it's tough stuff.
You Immaculate Grid about golf.
Preston Thorne will be on every single one. You think so? Yeah, 100%.
I mean, you know, he's still by like golf age standards. He's still in his prime.
Yeah, let's say
he could be out there for a while.
Yeah, 100%. I think is he wearing golf shoes? Or is it just athletic enough looking shoes?
I can't tell from this distance. I think there just might be those athletic enough looking shoes. He's lining up his next putt. So what he told us, his strategy is basically hitting the same thing every time. He gets to choose. It's like horse.
He's picked a very tough putt.
Well, yeah, because it's starting at the base of a hill. He's got to go up.
Going uphill to a ridge, which is not great. It's a tougher putt. So like the guy, if you make it,
he's lining up. We're gonna give our play-by-play of Preston putting.
Peston. Here we go.
All right. He's lining it up.
He's putting left-handed. I don't know if he is left-handed.
Like Vern Lundquist. All right. Lines it up and takes a shot.
He smoked it, but it died at the top of
it. Just hooked to the right a little bit.
Now there's a little ridge off to the right side as well. So you really got to hit this one straight.
I just realized Preston's a lefty.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know if he's left-handed or not, but he is putting
left-handed. Well, his challenger's a righty. See how he does. It's off. Oh, yeah.
Not great.
I get it. You're trying to account for the curvature there, but
I don't know if, again, I still am not sure if Preston is left-handed or not. So he's putting left-handed, but again, do not know if Preston himself is actually left-handed.
That's one of those things, like, unless you're confident in doing it,
right?
You wouldn't do it.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. Someone lent him a putter. So if you just got a random,
but like
left-handed putter,
I would think a lefty punter would be a punter. I imagine a lefty putter is a little more rare.
Yes. As someone who is a lefty.
Yeah, look at that. He was right on the edge.
Was that Preston? That was Preston. He rolled that within a gimme. Yeah, that was a gimme. He rolled that within a couple.
Already beaten Preston so far.
Taking a practice stroke. Pitch down. It dies. Oh.
And
did not hit it hard enough.
It hooked the edge of the hole.
But it curled right there. That was one of those old golf. You did everything right, but the golf gods did not reward you with the ball going in.
You need the crowd roar like Tiger Woods got that time to put the ball into the hole.
Yes, that would have been the Tiger Woods chip in. Yeah, 16 if it missed the hole, like if it just stopped.
Have you ever heard a breakdown of like how valuable that one shot was? Because it has the perfectly turned like Nike golf logo, and like I don't know if it's a podcast or something I heard years ago. But somebody was like breaking down like how much money was actually made off that single shot, and apparently like the producer, I guess it was on CBS, like said I would never usually cut to that shot. Usually you cut to like a wide shot of the golfer themselves or something like that. Something told me to like hang on the ball, and it turned out to be $1 million shot. Yeah, can you hear us? Did that? Oh, okay. Can you hear us now? Can you hear Colin? Okay. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Let's start.
Gremlins, man, Gremlins. We didn't talk about Logan's first play yet, did we? Hey, Elijah. Can you look at yesterday's cuts on Vox Pro? Yeah. Can you find cut 7, which should be first play or something like that? I'll call for that once we get in this next segment. Got any technical problems this morning, Preston?
No. Yeah, we did actually. I don't know. Something that you might know was going on. I don't know.
We just had 2 problems right there in the first 10 minutes. Hot start.
We were watching.
I was like, yes, Preston's a lefty.
Surprise.
As a fellow lefty, I understand.
So you've been
right lefty also?
Yeah.
I don't write.
Yeah.
I do everything athletically.
The only thing I right-handed is I kick I'm kicking the ball, I kick right-footed. If I'm shooting a basketball, I'm shooting right-handed. Really? Yeah. That's the only thing that.
Everything athletic. Yeah, it's a hard life sometimes when people try this way.
No.
You guys always get the right on the hand right back in the day.
Yeah.
My hardest thing with golf, people used to try to tell me how to time my shoot. And it would be like, you would just take this one.
That doesn't. You have to reverse it.
One of yours have to go this way.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, I remember it took me a long time to figure it out.
Everything the right-handed people do, you have to reverse it or you give them a shake. Like using scissors.
Sure.
Don't they make like lefty scissors?
Yeah, but they don't work.
Trash.
Yeah, but they don't work.
Yeah, it's so trash. I don't know what that is, but it's garbage.
Yeah, and I play golf, so finding a pin and club. Yeah, that's when the pin is everything. And you'll sit there and try to find the pin and clubs, and it's just an absolute pain in the entire time. Yeah.
All right, sorry. Yeah, 30 stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
The first one. Yeah, after that, I thought it was, oh, we're good. We're good. Next year. Yeah.
Only that one guy. Yeah, I have a guy, Jerry.
Somebody else will play.
They took his thing.
But it's too.
Yeah, they just.
All right, welcome back in. It is in the bonus. He is Colin Taylor. I'm Tyler Head here on the 107.5 Game. Broadcasting live from the 107.5 Game preseason kickoff golf tournament out here at the Charwood Golf Club in West Columbia. Going to be broadcasting all day long. Myself, Colin, Wes, Chris will be joining us shortly. Jay and Terry are going to be out here. It's going to be a great day. Looks like the weather's going to be beautiful. A little bit cloudy right now. I'm sure that sun will be popping out before too long. I was thinking about it yesterday. When's the last time it rained? It's been like a week or two. Okay, Dad.
In like the worst way, we need it. So it's rain all next week. As someone that pays attention to the 10-day forecast because I'm like ingrained to do it. Yeah, we need rain. It's been a very, very long year.
It has, and yeah, it kind of dawned on me yesterday when I was checking the weather today. I'm like, oh, sunny all day again, no afternoon thunderstorm. That's like 8 days in a row now.
Sunny, 97 degrees, heat index of 103 with humidity of 75%.
See, I feel like at that point in time, just say it's 100.
Right, it's like is that bad? It's just 100.
That's the thing. Like what I feel when I'm outside should be
just the temperature.
That's just like, all right, it's cold, it's 30 degrees. The wind chill makes it feel like 20. Then it's 20 degrees.
Right,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, like it can warm up and cool off based on certain factors, but yeah, no, it's 100% going to be weather. It's just so stupid.
Fortunately, next Saturday's game is a night game up in Charlotte, so hopefully it won't be too
the nightest of the night game.
The nightest of the night. Yeah, that thing's gonna be close to 8 o'clock before it kicks off.
Yes. Over under 2:30 before I'm back.
Ooh, what's an hour and a half? So, all right, let's do some math here. Game ends at good estimate 11 o'clock.
That is like the most optimistic.
Well, hey, clock rules. Things gonna move a little bit quicker. Let's just say it takes 3 hours and 10 minutes. Game ends at 11 o'clock. Obviously, you have post game. The coach he would do the press conference in Bank of America. So
post game, if the game ends at 11, we're done with post game probably about 11:45.
Okay, I have to do writing.
Yes, so then I have to do my job.
Yeah. You know, just sit around eating food and
yeah. The fan base, that's what people are like, oh, so like, do you get the tailgate or do all this stuff?
On the clock.
I cannot remember the last tailgate I was at in my life. Truly cannot remember my last tailgate.
How long have you been covering?
I've been doing it, this is my 6th full season. I think my sophomore year of college was my last tailgate, which was 9 years ago. You just don't have time.
Yeah.
And like,
that's amazing.
The last thing you get a bye week and the last thing you want to do is drive somewhere and be like, you know what? More football.
You know what I want to do on my day where I don't have to cover football is go to a football game.
Right. So,
which is fair. Speaking of which, we are, I'm going to say it, 8 days away. This time next week, we can say we have football tomorrow for South Carolina at least. So obviously we've talked ad nauseum over these off-season months about the offense, what it's going to look like, what kind of play calls are going to be, how Spencer feels about it, how all the players feel about it. Everything we've been given up to this point has been positive, which of course it should be. Nobody's going to come out and say, "Hate this offense, it's stupid," and we're not going to be successful with it. No, they're telling us exactly what we want to hear, which is that it's going to be good. One question that was posed to Dow Loggins the other day, and I don't know if you're the one that posed it or not. I can't remember. That was Grant. Okay, so Helmut Granahan posed this question to him, and a very good one, something that I'm amazed hasn't been asked already. What that first play is going to look like in Bank of America Stadium, what Dow Loggins had to say.
Yes, sir. Be good.
Me again. Just build it to radio.
Just over a week out, do you think they know the play they're going to run to start the game right now?
Yes, I think that they have probably repped that play in practice a little bit this week just to get. It's less about the first play and but it's right. There was a lot of now maybe for game one the first play means a little bit more, but you brought up a lot of good insight where it's like I didn't realize. Yes, there's some of that goes into that, but hey, do you just want to run a play and let just kind of they fire up the ball, they get that first true hit out of the way, and you're good to go, or you take a shot play on first down, but then you risk not converting on a low percentage play, and then all of a sudden now you're 2nd and 10, and you're just trying to get 6 yards of that.
I believe Chris brought this up yesterday in the prior 2 seasons under Shane Beamer. The opening play of the season has been a pass play sometimes.
I would, knowing what they have and knowing how excited everyone has been for Spencer Rattler, if I'm a betting man, I'm betting on it being a pass play.
And to Trey Knox just to satisfy everyone.
Or do they go back with it and just put Takara Joyner at quarterback? That would be the most, just like a nod to like, I just want to watch you sweat for a play, like Spencer, you start 8 seconds on the sideline. Look Takara Joyner take the snap.
That's a good idea. Depends on how creative they want to get with it, I guess.
That would be really
over under. How many snaps do you think the Carolina Joyner does take in that first game? Yeah. Like as in he is the one receiving the ball.
Snaps or touches. Snaps at quarterback.
Snaps at quarterback, like Wildcat as a quarterback, whatever, however you want to phrase it.
Yes, anywhere from 5 to 10. If that happens, somewhere just to like throw a little bit. One thing that I thought was interesting, like when you throw screen, it's like everyone's gonna be so geeked up, and you know it's a pass, and all of a sudden it's like just get up the field, try to get on the field, and then you turn around and all of a sudden everyone's running past you. So it's really interesting. I'm planning on asking Howard next week how he tries to build a script, because that's so interesting from an offensive coordinator perspective of what are you trying to build out, because every offensive coordinator is different. So we're trying to see if we line up an 11 person with this formation, how are they going to cover it? Who are they putting on? So
Get what I'm saying?
There's a lot of feeling.
Yeah, you always kind of take into account that first drive or two of the game on offense. Like, okay, that's the scripted plays, trying to feel out what the defense is going to do, and then you kind of formulate the game plan based on what you see from those first couple of seasons.
Good offensive coordinators get better after the script. That was South Carolina's issue the last couple years is, and not just that, but like they would get through the script and it would be like, whoa. Sure. And then all of a sudden it was, we're just gonna go on gut and feel, and it tended to not go super well.
Well, that's the mark of a good offensive coordinator, and it's been talked about plenty about Todd Monken when he was at Georgia, his ability to call things on the fly and adapt to situations and stuff like that, and that's made him such a good offensive coordinator. We'll see what Mike Bobo does as his replacement out there. But yeah, when you see those scripted plays, you get a feel of what the defense is going to be. It's like, okay, here's areas we can attack, here's what we can do going forward.
It's good, and it's really interesting because each coordinator wants to learn different things on those scripted plays. I think Satterfield is more like the coverage. How are you going to play? How much are you going to play? How much are you going to play?
based on
Alright, so the biggest thing for today, you know, on your carts, you have your whole times already on there. Number 17, we haven't been out here in a while. We are actually rebuilding number 17.
What's that
So there's not anybody starting on
process like? And for
What I
Dow, it'll be
recommend
really
people to
interesting
do is
because
whoever's on number 9,
he's never
when you
scripted
finish number 9,
college.
you go straight over here
He's never
behind
put
number
together
1,
a
you play
script for
alternate
10 or
17
14
before you go to number
games.
10. So go all the way
NFL's
around
a
to
lot
9, no matter what hole you
different.
start on, when you
Different
finish
things.
9, alternate 17, and then number 10.
So
Does that make sense?
I'm going to be really interested to gauge. You only got about 20 minutes.
What we're going to do when we start off
Last
on
year,
this
Vegas, what was that, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
It all blends
we're
together
going to
this
do
time
11 and 10.
You only get so much time with them. So you didn't
9
get a
and
chance to
7
ask
on
them,
this
but
side, and then
I'll be
3, 2,
interested to
1.
see how
We'll
it
do
is.
that the way you're going to get started.
And we know, obviously, and Clayton White alluded to it the other day, that they were just starting to look at North Carolina stuff the other day. So they'll fully be jumping into it, today, this weekend, and by the time we talk to him next week, we'll have a lot better idea of what he's going up against in that North Carolina defense.
Yeah, 2 hole and 1 holes. That's going to be
It's, I think the scouting
and
department got all that stuff ready to go. But
on those holes,
for
you have
South
to play
Carolina,
the
like,
tee in order to be eligible for the hole in 1 prize.
obviously Drake Mason, they have a lot of new faces in that secondary. Your Dowell is trying to figure out what they're
Other
going
than that, you play your tee for the rest of the day.
to
We also are doing closer to
So,
the pin on
you have a
number
lot
3 and number 8.
I was thinking about this. If you're
And then we're doing a long drive
Carolina, you
men's on number 18,
Spencer Rattler.
the long drive for women's and seniors is
You got
going to
to
be
carry
number
on Georgia.
13.
You
When
have
you get out for the long
special
drive, the
teams
stake's
now
going to
that
be
you
in the
have
middle of the
Fairwood
fairway
in
at the
South
200 yard
Carolina.
marker.
You're
What you're
trying
going
to
to do is
kind
you
of
hit the ball
work
in the
this
fairway,
into
you just
10
move that stake where your
practices.
ball is,
Now
put
it's
your
granted
name on
4
it.
free.
Similar
You would
concept
normally
with
get
this
for a
thing,
regular
you
game,
put that
but
stake on the
there's a
green
lot to
where the
cover,
ball
and a lot of it might be on
All
these
right.
these
Other
Carolina
than that,
players, and they're talking
basically all I got
about
for you guys
everything
is
that South
just
Carolina
need to remember
is
par
throwing.
and trend,
Right.
y'all get done.
And we'll certainly
We have
dive into more of that
scoreboard
as the
over
morning
here.
goes along. Coming up, though, some interesting news out of the Michigan football program yesterday, and our Michigan insider, Colin, has some thoughts to share. We'll hit that coming up next. You're listening to In the Bonus, broadcasting live from the 107.5 game Summer Golf Classic at the Charwood Golf Club in West Columbia. He's Colin Taylor. I am Tyler Head here on 107.5 the game. Hey, Elijah.
Number one, thank y'all for coming out today. I truly appreciate it. We all appreciate it. Obviously, a great time here as we get ready for the start of football season. Just in case you don't know, I'm Bill Gunner. Woohoo! Just getting 3 hours of radio, and I got to talk more now, so I'm thrilled. But I want to thank y'all personally for coming out. This is, I think, our 4th or 5th year doing this, and several people we want to thank real quick. Number one is this guy right here, Rock Lucas, Rock and Daniel. That's the loudest standing ovation you ever got.
The only one.
Rock and Daniel and Charwood have been phenomenal to us through the years. They've taken care of us. They've been out here. They've opened the door, except for 1 year where they forgot. They have been phenomenal. They have been phenomenal partners for 107.5 games. If you've never come out here and played around, please come back. Charwood is fantastic. It's a great place to come. I know Brandon is right here somewhere. Brandon can speak to it. He's brought Airport House who comes out here. He brings his kid out here. I brought my son out here. If you're looking for a great place to
No, it's
come,
okay. Can you hear that speaker in the background, like, at all? I know they're, like, talking about stuff for the golf tournament. I just want to make sure it's not bleeding over to us too much.
Number one, thank you to them.
Okay.
We got 2, I don't know if you mentioned it. We got
Like,
2
it's literally
special
happening
holes
right
today.
now. Can you hear anything?
Number 3 and I believe it's number 15. Number 3 today.
Okay.
Get a hole in 1. You got a pretty blue truck right there, courtesy of Lowe's
Okay. I just want
Chevrolet.
to make sure we're never powering us. One
Bring
second.
yourself a truck and drive home.
Yeah, I just asked him. He said it was just very faint in the background.
But that's number 3. Number 15. Big thank you to Cato's Lawn and Landscape. Big thank you to Cato's Lawn and Landscape. You got a hole in 1.
And it goes live on Monday. All right, cool. Hey, Elijah.
If you get a hole in 1 on number 15,
In that
you win
next stop set,
$10,000.
what is the first thing in the commercial break?
I personally drink Buffalo Trace and
Okay,
so
can
let me
you
know
put
where
a
to
stop
go.
on the thing after that? Because after the Sports Minute, Colin's going to do his
Some great people that I've worked
Swim
with.
Keep Street.
I'm
So,
very
play
blessed.
Sports Minute, and then we'll come back to Colin, and then after that, play the next
Very
commercial.
proud to be able to introduce you to them real quick. We got a lot of great people at Cumulus.
Yeah, after the
at our
Sports Minute
station
and the
at
next stop set.
107.5 game. I want to start with a lot of people who
All right,
make
thanks,
this
man.
happen behind the scenes. This is our incredible sales team. Please give them a round of applause. To my left, number one, this young lady right here in the black 1075 game shirt was here at 4:30. 4:30. I was not awake at 4:30. I was awake 30 minutes later. Kendra Fields, please give her a round of applause. Next to her is the one and only Jay Phillips, Mr. Columbia right here. Mr. Columbia. He took time out of his busy going to a fish concert schedule to be here today. We appreciate him. My co-host and a great former Gamecock, Preston Thorne. Please give him. Right here, Gamecock Central, who is a great partner of 1075 The Game. Love having Gamecock Central as part of us. They provide incredible content. If you haven't heard the Garnet Trust Hour from 11 to 12, they had Luke Doty on yesterday. I keep calling me all night, telling me how great it was. This is Chris Clark with Gamecock Central. Behind them, doing the radio show that I'm currently interrupting, is Colin Taylor with Gamecock Central, 9 to 10 in the bonus. This is our good buddy, our new friend, our new guy, Tyler Head.
Yeah, and Ford's here. Yeah. Don't worry about Ford.
Yeah, Ford.
Terry Ford.
Ford's the lackey running it. Make sure nothing went off the air. We're okay.
This is our program director. He's the one that has put us on and done a great job. This is Terry Ford. Please give him a round of applause. Tommy didn't even stand where you see Tommy. Tommy just had a grandbaby. He's so tired he didn't stand where I asked him to stand.
Welcome back in the bonus. Colin Taylor, Tyler Head, 1075 The Game. Broadcasting out the Charwood Golf Club in West Columbia, 1075 The Game. Preseason football kickoff golf classic. Bill Gunser just gave us a beautiful introduction as we're getting the golf tournament getting set to roll here.
You got more applause than I did. I can throw that one out there. No, I raised my hand.
I can see that.
Everyone, they clap louder for you, Brad.
They clapped earlier for you, so you got some early clap.
They got the calling, but
I did hear that saying. I love
Honcho.
It's because you're not photobombing Bill. You're behind Bill doing what you're known to be doing.
It's like Superman with the glasses. You don't recognize me unless I'm like sitting behind like someone.
There's gonna be a lot of pictures and videos taken today. Get yourself in the background of some studies.
That would be so funny is like 50 pictures. Collins with pictures.
See, I've told him to erase it.
No, it's my brand at this point. Yeah.
I do want to let you know, please.
Brand in the NIL space.
Since we do have Terry on for a moment, we can officially announce some very exciting news.
Yes.
Starting Monday, 1075 The Game can be heard in some new markets, including
and we will be in Myrtle Beach,
New York, Los Angeles, Chicago. We will be starting on Monday at 6 a.m. We will expand the game to Myrtle Beach and Florence and Water. The game is all you're rolling through. So if you're rolling through that area and Florence, Arlington, whatever, if you're going to the beach, wherever you're at in that area, in that region, you'll be able to pick up 175 games, 100 points in Myrtle Beach, 5 in Florence.
You'll be able to
I'll tell you real quick, so we have a race guide. We do our
go ahead and get your item that way after the round.
So I sent them off all this stuff.
Right now we've got
our new. I just looked at frequencies and had to get them redone. Yeah. Yeah. Thank God I'm not in charge of anything. That'd be really scary. So Myrtle Beach and Florence, starting on Monday, you'll be able to pick up 175 games. We can start to expand the game out in the state of South Carolina. My work here is done.
There you go. So you're basically telling us you can't escape the game, no matter where you are.
It will be true everywhere. Whether you have a phone, a device, even in your car as you drive through the state, we will be stalking you at every moment.
And we cannot wait.
Absolutely.
We cannot wait to
See, now more people across the state are going to get to know who you are. So next time you're
there will be more applause.
The next time they announce Carly Top. Everyone. I will leave you guys to do what you do.
All right, appreciate it. So again, very exciting news. Can't wait to go across more of the great state of South Carolina starting Monday morning at 6 a.m. The game going to be heard on 100.3 in Florence and 100.5 in Myrtle Beach. I believe Bill just gave away the season tickets that we've been promoting for these past couple of weeks. So he's in the middle of reading it off right now.
I'm back again, fellas. I hate to break it. The ultimate season ticket will be given away after the round.
After the round,
just to
okay.
Just to confuse you, this is the raffle for the game football season.
So this is just football tickets. The ultimate game clock is for everything. Football, basketball, and baseball.
Yes, we're doing that after. Matter of fact, we're having.
All right, guys, go ahead and make your cards. Just wait for me. Let you know when y'all are going off.
That's right.
This first group on the front circle.
You're so nice. You give so many things away.
Yes.
You guys are going to follow my man Evan over here in the club tower right out front.
We'll confuse you as well as
He's going to take y'all up the hill to the parking lot 8-2.
We kind of,
You guys the radio stations follow that guy Evan up there.
and not confuse you. We think
You
outside
gotta
the
earn
box.
it. You gotta earn it.
That's
You
right.
gotta earn it.
We make you think.
Yeah. Which is what you're supposed to. Absolutely.
They're rolling.
Yes. Shotgun starts at 9:30.
I can hear a shotgun.
I'm really gonna leave. So you guys have fun here.
Yes. If they have a problem, I'll let you know.
I'll be there. Jay will be there.
I say we can't have sweaty.
Nobody wants to be there.
We'll be in the air
Number 6
Absolutely. So again, a lot happening out here at the Charwood Golf Club in West Columbia. Just got off the rolling. Those golf carts taking off. It's going to be a fun day out here. I wanted to get to this, Colin, because this is your area of expertise.
All right, number 6, you're going to follow Evan up here in the front.
We obviously know
He's going
that
to take y'all across
Michigan
number 1,
has
number
decided
6,
to
number 5, number 4.
in 3 games.
6, 5, and 4. You guys are going across this way. Follow Evan out here in the front.
All right, he's got to start 4 games. Okay, now he doesn't. They're going to revisit it. And get a good say, all right, we're going to spend 3 games. Get this all done with. So whenever the NCAA gets done with their meetings, their committees, we don't have to worry about that. But the way that they went about announcing how they were going to divvy up.
All right, on the left side,
under
9, 8,
for the
and
first
7.
3
You guys are taking immediate left.
Unique.
9, 8,
So
and
they're
7.
going to be
Follow
taking
my
on
man
East
North.
Carolina, Bowling Green, or Shelby, all obviously non-conference games. Games that Michigan win pretty handily if a monkey was calling. A monkey was running the game. Exactly. You don't necessarily need anybody, of too sharp a mind to be able to navigate one of the best teams in the country past these opponents. But the way they split it up, so the ECU game, the head coach is going to be defensive coordinator Jesse Minter. For the Bowling Green game, it's going to be offensive coordinator and offensive line coach Sharon Moore. And then UNLV is going to be split half and half between former running back and now running backs coach Mike Hart and Jay Harbaugh, who is the special teams and safeties coach.
A normal program would just appoint one guy.
Yeah, just like Sharon Moore is going to be the head coach for all 3 games. You know, everybody's obviously going to have their hands in it and running the game. And, as we saw with the offensive coordinator once, Marcus Satterfield departed from Nebraska last year, it was a cohesive effort when it came to calling the bowl game.
One person's making the ultimate decision at the end of the day, but it's a collective effort.
Yeah.
Normal programs would do that. Or even if you wanted to have it, and I get why Jim Harbaugh's doing this. He wants to give, this is a staff that on paper has a bunch of future head coaches on it.
Yes.
Jesse Minter should be a future head coach. Mike Hart is seen as a rising star in the business. Sharon Moore, there's a lot of people that think that whenever Jim Harbaugh does leave, that he's going to be in the competition to be Michigan's next full-time head coach. So even it's the it's less about, okay, this guy's going to, it's the splitting of the UNLV game that is just so wild to me.
So I'm curious, like, what if they are absolutely on fire in the first half with Jay Harbaugh?
Yeah,
Like
they can't do anything.
They put up 49 points, 7 touchdowns. They're just clicking on all cylinders. Then Mark Hart comes in and turnover, interception, 3 and out. And it's just like, do you just hand the reins back over to Jay Harbaugh again?
Right. And then Jack Harbaugh is going to be assistant head coach, and Ben Herbert is going to be associate head coach.
When I saw this, I immediately thought, like, oh, there must be like a Jack Jr. Like there's be another Harbaugh brother that is named after the dad. And then I looked up, I'm like, no, it's actually Jack Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Who, of course, is a legendary coach in his own right, but like, really?
Right. So like all of this combines together for, as there's Chris Clark putting.
Is he a lefty too?
I don't think so.
Oh, he's choosing a lefty putter. Okay.
He is not.
He is not left-handed.
Wes says he is not.
But it's less like, so all of this combines together. You have 4 different head coaches. The first response to Michigan football's tweet is, will Michigan have more head coaches?
Wesley is emphatically shouting, "Go Blue!" right in front of us.
My regional is Michigan.
Well, how do you feel about 4 different head coaches in 3 games?
You know what? It is.
I mean, they're going to have a.
You don't think Harbaugh's going to be coaching?
Well, of course, and that's the funny thing about this is like
all of it during the weekend.
Exactly, he's going to be doing everything normally in a game week except being on the sidelines during the actual game.
Standing there and he's
I did get some PTSD yesterday because App State did announce
see
that Armonte Edwards will get his number retired during a game. And see, I grew up a Michigan fan, so my father's from Michigan. I made my wife, when we started dating, learn all the words to him. Victor's, like all of those things. We have a very close mutual friend whose family went to App State.
Okay.
So she saw me tweet about Armonte Edwards yesterday and said, "Listen, if you want to go to the game, we can make that happen." And watch Armonte Edwards get it. So it was as the PTSD of just seeing that name and all those memories. Edwards obviously the quarterback for that upset in the big house.
We know.
There's a lot of heartburn that comes just seeing that name up there. And I looked up his stats yesterday. He was so good. He was like 3 passing touchdowns, another rushing touchdown. Like he was.
Yeah, they were coming off of an FCS national championship. They weren't some schlub. They were actually a good team.
Right. And they made the jump to D1 just a couple years later.
Exactly.
So it's one of those things where, yes, it was a lot to process that moment.
I think we've upset the Michigan contingent enough for one morning.
The funniest part of the Michigan graphic though is they like photoshopped all their faces into it and made it look like an And One documentary, like loading screen, like NFL Street loading screen. And there's like chains and sparks, and it just looked. I feel bad. Someone got paid to make that.
Yes. Round of applause for the social media team of Michigan football. Great job. She doesn't even know what we're clapping about, but she's clapping along.
Clapping. She's part of the course here, but yes, it's just amazing.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of football, we do have some Week 0 action starting tomorrow. We'll dive into that coming up next. You're listening to In the Bonus. He is Colin Taylor. I'm Tyler Head on 107.5 Game. You can actually put the stop after this if you have enough time.
Hello, Colin Taylor here again to remind you about Twin Peaks, right in the heart of the Vista. The good news, it runs through September. They are launching a new wing sauce. If their stuff is not hot enough for you, they have a new hot as you know what sauce. It is their hottest wing sauce yet. They also have fantasy football. You can have your draft there through September 7th. So go to TwinPeaksRestaurant.com/draft for more info. If you give $5, you get $5. Tunnel to Tower, September 1 through 11th. Oktoberfest going on as well. Great food, great beer, is to watch all of your week 0 action, all of your college football action. It is right in the heart of the Vista. Again, great location. If you want it, they probably have it. Canelo and Charlo coming up September 30th. Plenty to go on, so we ask you to head on over to Twin Peaks and get you over there today, eating some great food, drinking some cold beer, watching some sports.
Perfect. And I'm told that the top of the hour break will fire where it gives us 30 seconds of music into the stop set, supposedly. It was not that way. Okay, are we hard out at 55 or 56:45? Do you know yet? Okay. It's if we're firing it, it's probably 56:45. So the bumper music hit that at like 56:10. At 50, no, it should be 30 seconds. So if you back time it, it should be like 56:10 because we need the stop set itself to actually fire at 56:45. I mean, if there's no bumper music, if there's no bumper music, I don't mind just doing straight into the ID. But if there's bumper music there, we can play that too. You don't see any? There is bumper music. Okay, so that will fire automatically then. What time does it say? 50. Okay, all right, cool. I can work with that. Sweet. Okay, perfect. Thanks. It's mosquitoes. It's a lot quieter out here now.
The morning would be great. I'm not wide open.
Now we're alone.
It was pandemonium for. I'm gonna go ahead and end this broadcast.